Good morning. Good morning. All right. Welcome. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and we are about to get started. It's about to go down this morning. We're going to be talking about uh, people that should be indicted and things. So, if you live in America or not, you are still welcome. Some of you guys may know who these people are and things. Some of you may not, and that's okay. We're talking about people that are embezzlers. We're talking about people that are anti-American. We're talking about people that are, people that committed treason as well. We're talking about people that have done a lot of bad things, though. You know what I'm saying? Bad things um, to this country. We're talking about the people that were behind the COVID-19. We're talking about that as well. We're talking about people that made it mandatory to use or take the jab. We're talking about that as well. So we're talking about these things, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, it's just one of these things that's very, very sad. We live in a society of rules, and rules are to be followed by everyone, not for the few, not for people that feel like they are above the law, preferential treatment. And we're starting to see a trend of this for it's been going on for a very long time. And I said, you know what? I wanted to do another live talking about this type of stuff, um, the corruption that are in our government. This is one of the main things. We got a lot of corruption outside of the government, inside the government. We're talking about corporations that lobby our Congress people, right? So they're one and the same because we pretty much know that the people that's really getting bills and stuff, I mean, getting writing up bills and getting it passed into law, we're talking about people that are corrupt from the flow up and make me want to throw up. You know what I'm saying? So this is basically what it is, though. And I said, you know what? I wanted to do a list of some people that are on the take, that are corrupt, and why we are in this situation we're in today. So as I said before, if you're just coming into the chat, I welcome you with a warm embrace. Yeah. You said Parvin. All right, I'm waving back to you, Parvin. Thank you. Thank you so much. I welcome you with a great warm embrace. You know, welcome. Good morning. I don't know if it's good night in your area, but all is good. All is good. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, we're talking about for people that's just coming in. We're talking about should these people be indicted? There's those photos there for people that some of you may know, some of you may live in America. But I put that photo up because the list is more than that, but it's about should these people be indicted? We're talking about people like Anthony Fauci, right? You're going to hear me with a list of people. If you live in America, definitely. We're going to be talking about the Obamas, the Clintons. We're going to be talking about the Bidens, the Harrises, the Bushes. We're talking about a lot of people here. I'm talking about people that been in power for a long time in America that have set up laws. And when we talk about embezzlement, we're talking about corruption with embezzlement. We're talking about treasonous stuff to this against this country. Paving ways back again. All right. We're talking about people that have committed treason. When you go against the Constitution, it is considered to be a treasonous act. How in the hell can you be a president, never been born in America, but you become a president? It makes no sense at all, you know? And there's something to be said about this stuff. It's that either that the American people are sleeping on this, or the fact is that sleeping as in, or they just don't care and don't know anything about the Constitution and the law to lay in over here. And I'm beginning to think that it's a little bit of both. I really do. So this is why I'm right. I mean, this is why I created this morning, talking about those people that should be indicted. And you guys tell me, who do you think that should be on this list? Because I think it's a long list. Who you guys think, if you live in America, then this affects you. Who you think that should be indicted? The so-called lawmakers. Who do you guys think that should be indicted? You know what I mean? I'm asking you guys, right? Before I even say anything. I got about 6 people in the chat. This is about who do you think that should be indicted? And, you know, like I said, all is welcome. You have your, you know, I'm just asking the question. Who you guys think that should be indicted? You know, as far as with the corruption, you know, against America. You know what I'm saying? So the list is long. You know, the list is long, you know? So let's go down through it. Let's talk about the first one on my list. Let me see. That's a long list. So, Mayorkas, should he be locked up? You know, that's another one. Should he be locked up? Alejandro Mayorkas. Should he be locked up as well? We said Anthony Fauci. Come on, guys. Come on now. You may or may not live in America. You may not even know who these people are, and that's fine. That's fine. Some of you may not know who these people are. Hopefully, I can find someone here that lives in America. When I say who should be indicted, as a list, those are pictures of people there. Come on, Americans. You guys are welcome as well if you're not American. But right now, this pertains to people that should know who these people are, that I'm going down the list. The first one I said again, everybody know who Anthony Fauci is. Tony Fauci, come on now. The second one is Alejandro Mayorkas. Come on now. So you guys tell me, should these people that I'm naming so far, should they be indicted? We have one that was behind the COVID-19 thing, right? The one that put up a lot of mandates and laws, phony laws. He was the doctor, man, that talked about wearing a mask and how it's going to help people from not getting sick. There's still people walking around here, stupid and all, wearing masks. The masks don't do shit. But tell me why they're doing it. 6 feet. This is nonsense. Come on, guys. I want you guys to participate. If you live in America, you can type in there, should Anthony Fauci be indicted? Should these guys be wearing the silver bracelets going to prison? That's the question. I left it up for a question for you guys, right? Some of you recognize some of those people on that photo, right? Some of you guys know who Bill Gates is. He's another one. Should he be indicted? Now, you guys, some of you live in India, and you know who Bill Gates is. And for some of you are mad as hell at Bill Gates. Some of you live in Africa. You know who Bill Gates is. He's the dude for going into your country, getting a lot of vaccines and stuff. Come on now. William says no one is wealthy enough and intelligent enough to be blamed. No one. Well, hold on for a minute, William. I know what you're saying, because here's the thing about it. Yeah, you're right. No one is too wealthy enough or whatever to be blamed. These people have impacted the world with their bullshit, right? And the pushback to these dudes, and you're right again, William. Thank you for answering. Thank you, man. I'm trying to get somebody to participate because these people, once again, they have impacted the world. We have Anthony Fauci. We have Bill Gates, Alejandro Mayorkas, and again, you know about Event 201, which is Bill Gates and all them. What the plan is, right? Mass, depopulation, and it's amazing that a lot of these people have these type of agendas. But we're gonna have to start waking up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? These people are evil, absolutely. The people that I put on the list, and the list is long, because we're gonna go down this list. But you're absolutely right there, Yappy. Yeah, these people are evil. To you guys' point, William, to you guys' point, no one is wealthy enough and intelligent enough to be blamed. They tend to think that they are, though. That's the thing about it. These people are so wicked. That's why I left it up to you guys. Who else you think should be indicted and going to prison? With the silver bracelets. Because we're going to talk about it this morning. So far, we have that Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates. Come on, guys. Who you think? Alejandro Mayorkas. We know what his crime was for. This is the dude that allowed a lot of illegals that have allowed a lot of people. That's right. Hillary, Crooked Clinton. You're absolutely right. She have crimes, international criminals, right? That hide in our legal system, right? And they have created havoc. And they were trying to tear this country up, bring it down to its knees. Yappy, you are correct. Hillary is also on the list. So we talked about, let's go down the list again. Anthony Fauci, right? Bill Gates, Alejandro Mayorkas. Yappy said Hillary Clinton. That's 4 right here so far. We talked about the 4 before. And everybody should know what the crimes against the people that committed these crimes. You guys should know what they have done. Just not just with name, but you should know what their crimes are. As well. You know what I'm saying? These are people that committed crimes against the Republic. The crimes of espionage, extortion, murder, rape. There's a lot of other things that they have done. Embezzlement, right? Manipulating our electoral voting things, right? Illegal entry, immigration into this country, right? Going against the Constitution, right? We're supposed to know this stuff, right? These are the crimes that these people have committed against the Republic. And it's about time that we talk about it because it is going down. They have not escaped. We already know. There will be a massive manhunt for these people to be brought to justice because this is why they're shaking right now, right? Come on now, who else you guys think should be on the list, right? Oh yeah, Judge Merchan. Judge Merchan should be on that list, right? We already know what his crimes were against this old phony court. Many of you believe that 34 indictments with Trump, his daughter was involved with what? Her daughter, what we already know, and took a bribe. You know what I'm saying? She got a lot of money to, basically get her, and her father and stuff had to play ball to try to indict and try to roll Trump. It's amazing. Everybody thought this guy was a felon. Guess what? He ain't a felon. He never was a felon. Because if he was a felon, he would have been charged. Come on, people. I know some of y'all hate Trump. That's fine. But don't blame shit on the man. Because if that was the case, well, how did he beat the felon charges? See? So we're going to go down that list again. We talked about Bill Gates, Anthony Fauci, right? Alejandro Mayorkas, right? We talked about, who else we talked about? Come on, we're going straight down the list, right? We talked about crooked Hillary Clinton, Judge Marchand. That's 5 people so far, people. You guys tell me who else. Come on now. William says, I would not give the person who maintained prison anymore, maintain prison rations to do so. Michael said, MAGA baby, you damn right. You damn right, MAGA baby, making America great again. You damn right, MAGA all the way. We are in the greatest position right now, ladies and gentlemen. The MAGA people are running the Republican Party, and we will soon be running government. And Trump is going to be bringing us back to those good old days. I never was around when it come down to the golden age, but we're going to find out what it is. And he has not stopped. He will take his political opponents that have committed crimes against the republic, and they all going to be going to prison. And I look forward to that day. Michael says we need to restore the national pride. Absolutely. And you know what, Michael? We are on that. We are on the way of doing that because Trump wants everybody. There's more Christians in this country than any other religion, which is fine. Other religions are, oh yeah, fist bump to you as well. Other religions as well, but I love the fact how Trump is going to bring religion back to these schools, bring back the national pride, like you said, where they'll be pledging allegiance like we used to. You know what I'm saying? The Bible, united, united we stand, absolutely, and we are going to be united. Our, even with our liberal friends, we are going to be united in this country. And when our liberal friends understand what real liberty is and freedom is, you know what I'm saying? With a lot of MAGA, we understand what it is. They don't. But when they start to understand that nobody's out here trying to take them away and trying to put them in prison, as long as they follow the law of the land, and they are more welcome. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, because Trump is going to reunite the country. Yappy says later. Back to you, though, Yappy. I appreciate it, man, coming in and, and supporting. So, ladies and gentlemen, those that are just coming in again, we are talking about who should be indicted, who should be wearing silver bracelets, who should be going to prison. That's who we're talking about here. So I kind of going down my list, of people. And you're more welcome to participate. You don't have to be American necessarily, but everybody know who these people are. I already talked about Bill Gates too, an international criminal with this vaccine hoax bull crap stuff. They have touched India. They have touched Africa. They have done. He's a eugenist. He always has been. His father was like him. Anybody know who Margaret Zinger is? So he is the son of his father. He is of his father, a eugenicist. This is what he does. Remember, mass depopulating the people. And, Anthony Fauci, we met, and he's just a puppet, but he still should be wearing those silver bracelets and going to prison. And like I said, we're going to go down the list. We're going to talk about it. So the people that I have covered was Bill Gates, Anthony Fauci, right? Judge Marchand, right? Crooked Hillary Clinton. Come on now, who else? Alvin Briggs, right? Letitia James, Fannie Willis. Come on now. Weird. Let's see. Michael says, weird. 10 minutes, cities are trying to be put in our future. Okay, weird. 10 minutes, cities are trying to be put in our future. Exactly. With this, and I know what you're talking about with that. We're talking about, you're talking about those sanctuary cities, I believe. because that's exactly what they did. They made a sanctuary city, try to put colorful words on it, calling these people dreamers where they are illegal, and everybody should be outraged that illegals are brought over here in America. This is totally un-American, and this is where Alejandro Mayorkas come into play. You know, he's a person that's over the border, practically the one that is in charge of the border, I should say. He's also the one that was in charge over FEMA. He's the one that gave the, I do believe that the command came from him, or maybe somebody above his pay grade, that said, it could be one of those Democratic elites that told him to tell these people, the director that was over FEMA, not to give FEMA to anybody that has a Trump sign on their property. Overlook those people. Remember, this is totally unconstitutional. You FEMA is supposed to be for national disaster efforts, right? To come in to assist and to help people that have lost it all, and then they want to play politics with this type of stuff. See what I'm saying? So that's why I'm asking you guys, come on. I appreciate the participation, but we can get those likes up, sub for me if you can, because I'm bringing up stuff that we all should be in agreement on, right? Whatever side you are on, you should be in agreement of this, because their policies affect all of our lives, if you live in America or not, because this is global as well. This is a global agenda, and we're giving pushback on it. So that's why, what's his name? Michael said MAGA baby, because he understands making America great again. Because if Trump was this villain that they tried to paint, if he was some type of low-down scoundrel to that point, he would have been everything they tried to go do against Trump. He should be in prison. If that is true, how is he not in prison? You got to ask yourself that. 25% tariffs is going to crush the economy. We're going to talk about that, chick. I guarantee you it won't, because Trump knows what he's doing. He should be true. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. We are fine. Let the man run the country. This is a man that's have been through a whole lot. That's why I say we got one of the greatest presidents that have ever did it outside of Lincoln, and that is Donald J. Trump. I don't care what nobody says. That is the effing man. You know what I'm saying? If he was that guilty, I mean, they had high power attorneys on him. Nobody can call him a felon now. If you do, it's slander. It's slander. You know what I'm saying? This is the man of the day, the hour, that have pushed back on this country to make this country great. As I said before, anytime a president says that he's a constitutionalist, he got my attention right away, got my hell of a respect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but here's the thing about it, Blue. You whistling in the dark with that one, dog. That 34 counts, that shit been thrown out. It's weak now. You know, it never had an argument. That shit is weak. All that shit is weak. Whatever you say at the end of the day, Blue, or whatever else, yeah, convicted, guess what? It's thrown out. So bringing that up is pointless. You know, I know it hurts. I know you don't like him. I know you want him in prison, but it ain't going to happen. I told people this. Nothing that they throw at Trump is going to work. It never have. This is a guy that had these phony counts, right? They were phony. Let's talk about it. Fake. That's exactly what it is. All fake. He had the news media against him, slandering his character, running him in the mud, but he prevailed. You know? It'd be an attempted assassination attempts. It was a wrap then. You know he was going to win the election, though, and survive. They wasn't planning on him to survive. That's what it was. This is the greatest president, whether you disagree or not. I mean, agree or disagree. But all that shit, I don't even want to see nothing else about 34 counts and all that. It's bullshit. Because if that's the case, he would have went to jail. He would have went to prison. Everything he talked about, he been broken into, took it away. You know that was unconstitutional what they did to Trump. Broken into Mar-a-Lago. It's all BS. That's what I'm trying to say. The liberal, low-down left don't have nothing. You don't even have leadership no more. In a disarray. And they one of the worst backing these criminals behind the COVID. There's a lot of things I can talk about. We're going to get there. We are going to get there. Let me see here. Let me read this thing here. Mine says, the fake can never tolerate the real. Exactly. Mine's mouth says, people talking about Trump slap their own wives and mamas, right, and sisters. That's what I'm saying, adultery and crimes. Yeah, they act like they're above it. Nobody said Trump is perfect, but I know this. If that shit was true, he would have been in prison a long time ago. These bogus-ass charges, I know there's never Trumpers in this room, but you don't have anything. You don't. Montana says, LARPers of liberty, hypocrites and weak sauce. So, that's the thing about it. This is the thing about it. That's why I put the list up of people you think should be indicted. Remember, Trump have already been indicted, but it was bogus. I guarantee if these people that I listed will be indicted, they wouldn't get off. I bet you that. They wouldn't. They would not get off. You think these people, you think Anthony Fauci would get off? I'm just saying. Do y'all think that Anthony Fauci would get off? Do you think that Bill Gates would get off? Do you think that they would be able to handle and deal with what Trump had to deal with? These people are weak. They hide behind money. They hide behind status and so forth. And there are people that are protecting them. Trump was out here pretty much by himself dealing with all this nonsense. That's the type of president you want to deal with, because if he can deal with that, he can deal with Xi Jinping. If Trump can deal with that, he can deal with Vladimir Putin and any other world leader. But these old weak, wishy-washy, you absolutely think somebody like Kamala Harris can deal with this, Miss Snowflake? Come on now. Now, you know your logic and reasoning would tell you otherwise. Mine said, learn. I'm not rich and I never been to jail. I understand that. Dees says, how come Epstein list still hasn't come out? Hey, Dees, don't worry about it right now. Trump has the list. He has the little black book, as well as the Diddy stuff. It's all will be revealed in time. It's going to come out. Just got to be patient. I'm glad you brought this up, though, D. I was going to bring it up. And the reason, once again, as we already know, this is the real reason that people in the White House hate Trump. A lot of people in political, as well as the celebrities that are hijacking it out of here. This is the real reason. You already said it, Dees. You was asking how come the Epstein list, and it will come out, though. He's just, Trump got a strategy of what he's doing. He's got to go after people that have falsely accused him, caused him a lot of grief, as he should. He has my great respect on that. Because remember, his political opponents went after him. They caused the first, they throw the first stone. It wasn't him, it was them that did it, And I guarantee if that's would have been Bill Gates, he'd been crying like a little bitch. He sure would. If this would have happened to Alejandro Mayorkas for what they did to Trump, he couldn't take it. Little mousy of a man, weak man, little mouse man. Mine said, learn if you don't like America. Please leave. Cuba is very inexpensive to live for you. Absolutely, I agree with that. So again, what Mind's Mouth saying is true. If any of you guys don't like America, you don't have to be here. You thinking that we are under tyranny? If that would be the case, Trump would have been locked up a long time ago. He really would have. Why is it? Don't you? Logic dictates, man. Come on now. How's he getting off on all this stuff? Is he that a hell of that? He's that type of guy that can do that? Huh? That's what I'm saying. D says, still not a fan of Pam Bondi. She's too an anti-Second Amendment. Well, I'll tell you this, though, Dees, we have to just wait and see. Mind's Mouth says, God bless. I've got to go to work. Thanks, Mind's Mouth, man. I appreciate you on chiming in and things like that. I appreciate you, some of you guys, for participating and things like that. But these, I mean, yeah, you have to just wait and see. All is going to be revealed in time. It really will. Because, like I said before, Trump knows of how to get this country back on track. And think about it. These other people haven't been assassination attempts on his life, broken into Mar-a-Lago, been accused of Russia, trying to go at him with some old fake woman stuff and all this stuff, Stormy Daniels and all this other stuff. I'm just saying, had it would have been any of these other people, we know they would have been guilty as hell. Your quantum reality says, I love my country, not so much my crooked government. Oh yeah, I agree with you though, man. Your quantum reality. I agree wholeheartedly because we've been under tyranny and things for quite a long time. We really have. And the only reason we have because the American people have fallen down on the job because we used to know the Constitution. They used to talk about it a lot in schools. Do they still bring up the Constitution in schools today? I am curious. Do they talk about that, we the people and all this other stuff, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence? Do they still talk about that? Because it seems like there's a lot of dumbing down in this country. Do any of you guys know, are they still talking about the three levels of government? I mean, the branches of government? I'm just curious. If not, then we'll just move on. And those that are coming in right now, I put the photos up of the people that should be indicted, right? For the crimes against the Republic of the United States of America. We are a republic, not a democracy. We are a republic, right? This is what America is. So I'm going to go down the list. We talked about Anthony Fauci, Alejandro Mayorkas, right? We talked about Judge Merchan, crooked Hillary Clinton, Bill Gates, right? Alvin Briggs, Letitia James, Fani Willis, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, right? Kamala Harris. I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going right down the list, right? So we talked about these people. Should they be indicted? Everybody want to talk about Trump. He beat his shit. Can we say the same for them, right? What about these Hollywood celebrities hightailing it out of here? I like that meme that somebody created on social media that's been circulating. They got Whoopi Goldberg, Gold Turd at the front. All of them. I call that Con Air for convicts that all have with these, you already know what it is now. They don't have shit to deal with about Trump. That's BS. That's the cover. D says, actually, we are a democratic republic. But the thing about it is simply this, D, is what I'm saying in regards to this. I don't feel like we are a democratic republic. They just say Democrat. But they need to, if that is what you're saying, it should be synonymous. It should be what I just mentioned. If that's the case, the republic is the key thing, right? That's exactly what it is. That's the key thing. We, the people, we are the people. We are the ones that the government, our representatives, are supposed to represent. But let's get back on topic, D's, because there ain't nobody getting off on this now. Let me ask you this. Who do you think that should be wearing those silver handcuffs going to prison, D's? D's. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you that question, D's. Who else do you think that should be going to prison? Indicted, silver bracelets, going to prison. Don Bell said exactly. There's time. The time is up. Put them in jail, including the Obamas. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about, Don, because it ain't that hard. It's like I was giving D's the opportunity to tell me on that list. He did not do so, but I'm glad that you stepped up because I asked you a direct question. And you are 100% correct, Don. This ain't about Trump. We're talking about the people that have committed the crimes against the republic. That's who we're talking about here, right? This is exactly what it is. No, D's, I want a name. You guys want to comment? Give me a name, damn it. The American, Gary Gessler of the set. You got to elaborate on more on who that is. I may not know everybody. You got to give me some meat on those potatoes. There, give me some meat on those potatoes, the American. D says, I think that 90% of the senators, congressmen in Washington need to be wearing those bracelets, whatever. Yeah, but I know what you're saying in regards to that. But right now, we want names up here right now. The names should be put up like a scarlet letter for when it goes down. Everybody gonna know who it is, but come on now, it ain't that hard to know some of these names. I've been giving some names. Some people have been dropping some names in here. You know what I'm saying? Mitch McConnell. Well, how about this? Mitch McConnell is dirty, but if you're going to throw up Mitch McConnell, what about Adam Shifty Schiff? Come on, D's. Don't be biased on one side now. I can go and agree with you about Mitch McConnell. But come on now. You didn't mention Adam Shifty Schiff. Come on now. Let's go here. Let's go on and talk about it. Jason Doe says, anyone who has hurt any children. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyone, and we already know because they don't want this stuff to come out. Jesse Smollett needs to be arrested. You know what? That's a good point. Royston Marshall says Jesse Smollett needs to be arrested. I agree with you. I got to put Jesse Smollett on that list. And things. I'm glad that you brought that up. Thank you. Give us some names, man. I need names, ladies and gentlemen. This is still a free republic. I need names. You know, this is what our Constitution protects us. They're not supposed to retaliate and come back to you. This is what it's about. And we're going back to those good old days, ladies and gentlemen, because we already crushed woke. Woke is gone. We crushed that. That's out of here. We ain't got to hear to that anymore. That's out. Yep, the AOC is gone. That's gone. It's gone. It's going. You ain't got to even worry about them. But I need the names, though, really, of the people that the crimes against the Republic of the United States, the crimes that they have committed, whether if it's been with these children, whether it has been embezzlement, whether it has been in high corruption, right? And it's being traitors to this country, right? We are going to talk about it today. Give me some more names. If not, I go down the list. I ain't got no problem with it, right? So we talked about Anthony Fauci. Let's see here. Alejandro Mayorkas, Judge Merchan, Alvin Briggs, Letitia James, Fonnie Willis, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Kamala Scary, Hamala Crooked, Hillary Clinton, right? Kamala Harris, Obama's, Mitch McConnell, Adam Schiff? What about Chuck Schumer? Huh? Yeah. Let me see here. Christopher Ray says Mayorkas. Absolutely. Alejandro Mayorkas, right? Right? What about Chuck Schumer? Gotta throw him on there. You know what I'm saying? We gotta throw these people on there. What about him? Right? All the people, Bill Gates, I mentioned him too earlier. Right? Yes, Chris Ray, FBI, disgrace. Yeah. This is one of the main reasons our FBI is so corrupt today. The DOJ is corrupt, right? Homeland Security is corrupt, right? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Jared Krishna. Jared Krishna. Is he Chuck Schumer? What y'all haven't mentioned Nancy Pelosi? In fact, she should be at the top of the list. You ain't mentioned her? What about Nancy Pelosi? Right? Embezzlement, right? And a lot of other shit. What about her? Isn't she the one, you know what I'm saying? The one that refused to send in the National Guards at J6? And by the way, the people from J6 has been pardoned. Right? Let's go and talk about it. Your Quantum Reality says Nancy has been the ringleader for years, for a few years now. Yeah, she's been in there for like eons, though. Your Quantum Reality, she's been in there for eons. She have been in there for a long time, and I agree. There should be term limits on our government right now. There's no way in the world, and she's got back in there again. And I know I'm not worried about it because they already have evidence on her too. That's why she's so nervous. She should have been out of there a long time ago. You know. Let me see here. What else? The American said Fauci is at the top of the list. Nancy comes next. I'm in agreement with a lot of you guys. D says Joe Biden, but the name just obvious. Hunter Biden is another one. Hunter Biden. Russia, right? We're talking about the laptop, right? We're talking about the laptop. Anthony Weiner. You guys remember that one too? Remember? Rachel Maddow. Is that supposed to be Rachel Maddow? The American. You know, spreading misinformation on the, or what's that, MSNBC, Joy Reid. Yeah, these people should also be locked up. You know what I'm saying? For spreading propaganda, fear, hate, racism, reverse racism. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the list is long. That's why a lot of them are leaving. The celebrities, a lot of them have left up on out of here. What you running for, right? If you're supposed to be so innocent, at least Trump faced his accusers. Trump was a real man. He faced his accusers because Trump knew that they didn't have shit on him. But we can't say the same about these people running scared. Oprah Winfrey is running scared. She already left the country. Yeah, you break up another point. The American, she have left the country. Samuel Jackson, I'm gonna move to South Africa. Ashton Kutcher, let's go ahead and name Tom Hanks. All these people talking about leaving. You know, leaving good old America. They actually act as if their money is gonna be enough to protect them in these countries. Because once a sicko, and if they have been messing with these little children, and I'm saying allegedly, because when it really come out now, but I find it really interesting and strange that you got a lot of money in this country and you are scared about what Trump's policy, or are you scared of what he knows? And I already know that it's about what Trump knows. That's why they're leaving. It don't have shit to do with his personality, but they're trying to downplay it. They may as well come clean, because when it hit the news, eventually it will, talking about this stuff, these Hollywood elites and things, it don't make any sense. So a lot of these people are guilty of something or some act. Royston Marshall says Samuel Jackson moving to South Africa? Question mark. Is he back on crack again? Well, we already know. They here it is, Royston. They are escaping from something which we know. There's a lot of incriminating evidence that could be against these Hollywood elites. But I find it very rich to get back here and want to, because they thought that Kamala was going to win, they were going to be protected, their little dirty secret, and they'd be everything is good. And they, you know, I mean, that's why we're hearing about this stuff now. Because let's say that Harris would have won, we already know you wouldn't be hearing the mass jettison out of America at all. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. But one thing about a sick person, no matter where they go, they're going to strike again. They got enough money to influence a lot of these third world countries and all the rest of them. If they got a, pedophilia type of sickness, they're going to strike again. I mean, look at, what's his name? Russell Wilson. I mean, I'm sorry, not Russell Wilson. I'm talking about Russell Simmons. Sorry about that, Russell Wilson. I'm talking about Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying? I mean, here we are. Jim says, yeah, because he's in there, he's in them. Okay, Jim says, I love big women. Man, somebody gotta love somebody, you know. It's always somebody for somebody, Jim. It's all good. But at any event, so that's the thing about it, though, man. I mean, you know, talking about what's going down, you know what I'm saying? And I put the photo up, and a lot of you guys know who those people are. You know who these people are. And these people have actually, not because they're running government, Hollywood elites, they're all entwined with each other. CEOs of major corporations, they're in on it. People from the CEOs are stepping down. Why are you stepping down? Why are you stepping down, sir or ma'am? They're stepping down, trying to get the heck out of the country, passport and all. You know what I'm saying? It's like all because of they're afraid of Trump? Or are they afraid of what he's going to release? Because there is incriminating evidence that they caused against themselves, and nobody lying on these people. So let's go down the list, right? So where was I? Nancy Pelosi. Maxine Wicked West Waters. What about her? California. I'm so tired of hearing about Maxine Wicked West Waters. She should have been set down. I believe she is the oldest. Between her and Nancy Pelosi, they should not even been. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. We got these people on here and Mitch McConnell. They ass should be in their 80s. They should be set down a long time ago, man. What the hell? See what I'm saying about term? You don't think that these people are corrupt? When you've been a politician for some of them, it's over 40 years and more. Eminem says, I gotta respond to my MAGA trolls, right? That replied to my comments, and their channels are all gone. Yep, exactly. You know what I'm saying? You said the MAGA trolls, to my MAGA trolls. All right, right. To respond to my MAGA trolls, they replied, okay. So yeah, and I appreciate that, Eminem. I really do, because the MAGA trolls, the ones that was against MAGA, they've been trolling MAGA, and I'm okay with it. Sometimes I get them in this room. Trolls don't bother me though. It bothers a lot of people on the channel, but trolls don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're standing on truth, you know what I'm saying? The evidence is so overwhelming. You can't troll against what MAGA is doing. You just can't. You just can't. They try. That's why it don't bother me. D says, I should no longer be Democrat and Republican. We need to hold both sides accountable. Should the right or wrong, God or evil? Eminem says, corrupt Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, 100%. Well, here's the thing about it. Regards to that, I haven't, I don't know a whole lot about Clarence Thomas. I know he had a thing with, what's her name, something Hill, with that situation with the women. But I'm gonna have to. I don't. I'm not able to speak on him. I haven't heard a whole lot about what he has done. But like I said, what hides in the dark comes to the light. If he's guilty of what he has done, well, we're gonna find out what it really is. We'll find out. I agree. There's a lot of corrupt Supreme Court justices. They really are. There's corruption in Congress, as well as on the executive level, right? In the cabinet as well. Let's go on and talk about it. So there's a big old can of virtual raid that's being sprayed, and the roaches are scattering right now. That's what's going on. Royston Marshall says, Omar, you're gonna have to get some more information on that person. I think I may know who that is, but right now we're talking about people in America right now, right? The American government, as well as I'm talking about the politicians. We're talking about a lot of these Hollywood elites. They're intertwined with each other, that are what we call great influencers, that have all together now, that have been eroding our society, corrupting our society, embezzlement. How is a politician that some of them start off making $200,000 a year, they're making millions afterwards? This is another reason why they're afraid of Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, right? These guys are going to go in there and do what? We're going to find out where all this money has been spent. They are shaking, ladies and gentlemen. They are nervous like I don't know what. They really are. These are the ones, to be honest with you, instead of holding the court up against Trump, wasted all this time, all this tax money, all this waste of time, right? And we are going to go after the people that are truly criminals with these children and all the rest of this stuff. And I can't wait, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait at all. I'm going to be in great celebration like I'm already am right now with the victory with Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be honest with you. Ain't nobody doing it like Donald Trump. He even surpassed what's her name, Taylor Swift on social media. He is the highest and the most watched right now. People that were against him, they with him now, and we still got plenty of room to get on the Trump train, man. Because it ain't gonna get no better than Trump. Nothing is gonna get better than Trump. Because if that would be the case, we would have that person. Gavin Knucklehead Newscomb. Add him on that list. Get him out of there. This is the guy that won the run in 2028. He wants to be he's running for the future, for the presidency of the United States. It's not going to happen. If he ain't thrown in prison by then, it ain't happening. He is by 1%. It doesn't matter. He ain't going to make it. Because if anybody that lived in California or visited California should know, look at the devastation that he created on his watch. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. Harris was part of that. And these are the people that think that they should be entitled to be the president of the United States. We're going to definitely make sure that doesn't happen. Like we showed up this time, we showed out on the voting process to put Trump in there. We're going to do the same thing with Knucklehead Newsom to come around. He can talk all the pretty speeches. He can sound like MAGA. Well, we can smell a rat a mile away. All he is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because they can't run woke anymore. Guess what they're going to say? You're going to be hearing them talking about America this, Constitution that. Watch and see. Eminem says Trump inspected kid beauty pageants. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Eminem, I know you a never Trumper, man, but you got to give it up, man. It ain't working, man. Eminem is not working. I mean, it's not working. Because if you truly believe that, he would, like I said, he'll be sitting in prison right now. If you believe all this stuff, all these accusations, you can't even throw up the 34 counts no more. All of them been thrown out. So it means it was bogus in the beginning. I know you're a never Trumper. Like I said, you're welcome to come in here. I can take the trolls too. I even read what the trolls say. It ain't got me upset. Am I rattled? No, because again, it's stand on truth. Because he should have been locked up a long time ago. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? Eminem, agree or disagree? I know the shots against Trump. It ain't bothering me. MAGA is in control, sir. Yeah, you know what, John? It ain't no sense even asking Eminem. He'll throw up, and this is what trolls. I'm a troll myself. I do it better than Eminem, though. Because the stuff that I bring up, if I want to troll, let's say, a liberal, it's easy to troll a liberal because all you gotta do is hit their ass with facts, and they'll fall to pieces. I've been blocked for bringing up facts about the people on the left that they love and admire so much. I've been blocked on that. I don't block anybody on here unless if we go personal. That's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's fun though. It's all good. You can. You're entitled to. Your quantum reality says they are still in the graveyard where they vote from. Yeah, they really are. Because we won't have to hear from liberal Democrats in a long time. They lost their leadership. They are in disarray, right? They are infighting amongst each other, blaming who and all this stuff. The woke movement, the agenda has been destroyed, toppled, and destroyed. We don't have to, it's only two genders, and I have always said this. We ain't got to worry about men in the women's bathrooms. We ain't got to worry about men in the women's sports. So all that stuff, they were trying to go after Trump hardcore. This is why they're so beside themselves, because all you got to do with a troll is hit them with all these facts that I'm doing. Most MAGA know this stuff, and they just get mad. So they'll try to come at something else, and you don't have nothing. But hold on for a minute. Eminem said, what'd you say? It's a two-party government, not a cheap party country. Eminem, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we always had a two-party government. But the problem is that in this particular case, we're not even talking about Trump at this point, because, again, I talked about him earlier. Right now, it's the MAGA. The MAGA is the only party people are dealing with. So, because they don't trust the left no more, the left have lost a lot of credibility with their lies, propaganda, protecting a lot of these pedo criminals and stuff like that. And it's funny, Eminem, that you will not accept the fact that your party is gone. You will not accept the fact that your party harvests criminals. You would not accept the fact that your party went on this witch hunt against Trump and failed on every level. So, again, all you got to do with the and I don't mind talking to the trolls, but everything I said is factual and exact. Because if it wasn't, he's supposed to be sitting in prison if he was guilty. You see what I'm saying? Your quantum reality says they don't want to go into the men's bathroom because they are afraid. I wonder why. Exactly, right? And yeah, exactly. Eminem says, what does transgender have to do with the price of eggs? I'm not even going to entertain it. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't even have to talk about transgender no more. It's gone. So they're being kicked out the military. You guys, Eminem, you're reaching, man, and you're looking real bad. You're making yourself look foolish, sir. You're less, what, 1%? Nobody cares about the LGBT. We know that they've been weaponized. I'm not. If they want to do this stuff, they're more welcome to. Stay in your community. That's it. We're not having it on the mainstream, sir. The Democrat, low down liberal left have lost, sir, on every level. You have to take it for what it really is. You guys don't even have an agenda nowhere. Nobody is talking about transgender these days. It doesn't exist. In about 4 years, we won't even hear. You guys will be a fragment of people's imagination after 4 years is up. We over here talking about having to be rebuilding the country, making it great again. And when people see that they ain't got to pay taxes and all the rest of this stuff, nobody's caring about nobody's caring about that stuff. I don't. That's why I don't bring it up. It's pointless. Let me see here. So John Paddock says roosters can't lay eggs. I'm a farmer and know that 100%. Yeah, exactly, John. That's why I say, it's a joke. They thought they had a movement, and with the low down liberal left, they were trying to convince American people in the world, which the world is conservative, not liberal. Liberal is a small minority group of people. So the majority outweighs the minority. That's why I say I ain't worried about Eminem on this stuff, because he's trying to put up a fight, but we're suffocating him with the MAGA movement. The MAGA is suffocating these people, and they can't take it. And I love suffocating him with facts. Royston Marshall says, Eminem, I will follow the Muslim stance on transgender issues because the woke leftist media never asked Muslim communities about transgender issues. And we know why. And I live in the Muslim community. And you know what? You are absolutely right, Royston. They don't play that at all. That's why it was crazy how the gay community with the gay flag, with the Palestinian thing, they talking about they were backing the Palestinians with this gay stuff, right? And anybody know, ask any Palestinian, they are all Muslim. I'm over here laughing at they don't follow that stuff at all. And they are very less tolerant. If you want to go to a country and want to be free and gay, try going there and see what happens. Try going there and see what happens. These agendas, ladies and gentlemen, this whole gay thing, mostly with the transgender thing, it's a minority group. And we let them know that they were minority. They didn't think that the count of the voting, it was a landslide by millions of people that showed up. Almost 80 million people strong. John Paddock said, and bulls can't have calves. Absolutely. Except for I was gonna say, what's her name? Except for Rosie O'Donnell, she's a little bit different. That's a bull that can have a calf, That's a little joke there. And Vagabond Caddy says, I bet Eminem salty only getting 1.8 million votes. Yeah, that's all they got. That's a landslide, man. That's what I'm saying. They could come in the room and try to troll, but the majority is MAGA. We have beat the old right-o Republicans, kicked their asses out. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and the rest of them are being exposed, Your quantum reality says, get your mind right, because we're not putting up with the ish no more. John Paddock says, shout out to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Yeah, shout out to the Muslim brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. Royston Marshall says, imagine having to pay millions of celebrities to back you, and all you have to prove is how dangerous they are towards the democracy and American people themselves. In another country, they would have been missing right now. Yeah, you're absolutely right. because the Muslim community do not play that at all. Be transgender as you claim. I just say a man. Let's not use transgender no more, because we don't have to hear to that. We can go and say a man that's wearing women's clothing, because that's what they are. Ain't no trans, nothing. You ain't transitioning and shit. You are a man that's wearing women's clothing, and it is what it is. You're not gonna go there. You're not gonna go in they try going in their women restrooms and see what happens. Try doing that, right? And I'm here in Detroit, Dearborn. If anybody know, we have the largest Middle Eastern population in the United States. It's right there in Dearborn. You won't do it there. You won't do it in Dearborn Heights. I guarantee that. So yeah, like I said, Eminem don't have a leg to stand on. He sounds just as insane as Eminem the rapper. This is why that's why I can't stand a male liberal. It makes no sense being a man and being a liberal unless you may have a little soy in your take, because it is what it is. It is what it is. I can't stand a liberal male, man, because what you being so liberal about? All the laws and the rules are for women, not for men. You don't benefit from no DEI unless now we don't even have to deal with that no more. DEI is toppled and taken down as well. We don't have to deal with the DEI. We don't have to deal with I didn't earn it. We don't have to deal with this type of stuff. All it is a spin off against affirmative action. We don't have to deal with any of this stuff, right? Everybody gonna make it off their own merits. That's why Trump got rid of critical race theory. We don't need it, and I'm black that can say that. And for my black group, it is what it is. You got to learn to compete like everybody else that come into this country that do, or in this country. It's just how it is. You got to show your merit. Show me what you got. And ain't gonna be no special rides and special at all. We are all equal. And we're gonna prove it with our intellect and our will to get out here and get that good old education, and we're gonna do it. Royston Marshall says, no man who dresses as a woman is following my 2 daughters into the female bathroom. Never. And don't get me started on males and female sports. Hopefully we have 2/3 terms of the Republic government. Right, exactly. Enough have said. Boy, that's a mic dropper right there, Royston Marshall. I read what Royston Marshall had to say. You see what I'm saying? Because we would never, ever accept a man going into a woman's bathroom, because there's going to be some consequences. It's going to be some consequences if you go in there. There ain't no transgender. It's called a man wearing a woman's clothes. And you're going to get on board with it because you don't have no laws to protect you anymore. You know, it never should have been that way in the first place. We're going to undo this whole woke agenda thing. We're going to take down those rainbow flags. We're going to take this stuff down. And if you ever try going woke, your ass is going broke. You know, that's why Target got to change their model now. A lot of Toyota had to change their model now. They were all taking the knee to this woke shit. You know what I'm saying? So they better learn from history. Bud Light, if anybody that know about the history of that, your ass go woke. You go look at Jaguar. You guys remember Jaguar, the car, the automaker? Tell me why they had recently, I think it was the CEO, somebody gave a speech. It wasn't even about the car at all. That's why Elon Musk said, why is Jaguar talking all this shit about, they were talking all this equity, opportunity, you know, acknowledging all these groups. Anybody know what planet he from? We ain't gotta adhere to that shit no more. We MAGA destroyed that. Eminem says you should broadcast with your garbage bag on. Hey Eminem, like I said before, you can't troll me, sir. I'm a better troller than you are. That's why, you know when they say after a debate, when they start throwing name calling, that's when I already won. Yeah, I'm just saying though, you like what I got going on in this room. It's obvious that you're here and it's not working. I done suffocated you with a bunch of facts. You soy boy, you. Since we're gonna troll, let me troll you. You soy boy, you. You's a soy boy, beta male, simp, bitch that's trying to have a debate with a grown ass man. I should put you on my knee and give you a nice whooping, verbally, a verbal whooping. Royston Marshall says, I wonder how many of these woke celebrities are going to immigrate to Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Qatar. You know what? That's a good question, Royston Marshall. I don't think it's that they will, because we already know how they don't play. Yeah, I noticed that. Let's say they don't know about history. They can take their behind over there if they want to. Eminem says Bud Light's still the biggest sponsor of the MFL or whatever. You know why that is, though, Eminem? That's going to tell the truth. Because when they lost billions of dollars, when people wasn't buying Bud Light anymore. See, that's the thing about it. You're going to bring up half-truth. Why don't you bring that up, too? Huh? Why don't you bring that up, too? So you got to talk about one. You got to talk about the rest of it. They had to take the knee to the MAGA movement. Toyota had to take the knee to the MAGA movement. And a lot of these other ones. Subaru going to have to take the knee to the MAGA movement. Royston Marshall says Eminem is telling that you cannot attack policy. I know, right? That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Eminem, you are, what I'm going to call you, when I said what I said, man, you don't have nothing. And I know you're upset about it. And you ain't going to have a Democrat in a long time. You don't have nothing to stand on. You stand for all of the wrong things instead of the right things. You either going to get on board with the MAGA movement, or you can do like the celebrities. Buy yourself a ticket and leave America. You can go to Qatar. You can go to Afghanistan, right? Or you can go to Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi. You can go to any of these places. The 9 Emirate countries, you're more welcome to go to those places, right? Qatar is looking pretty good this time of year, Eminem. Have you thought about Qatar or Abu Dhabi? You know what I'm saying? You can go to Abu Dhabi. You could. You could. You can go to those places if you want to. And Eminem, why don't you go over there and then talk about American policies? You're more welcome to it, because it's pointless. The stuff that you haven't been really truthful. You came with a leftist agenda side that we have crushed that agenda, that movement. You haven't. So here we go. American First Dummy, which is Eminem. Eminem is the American First Dummy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know I'm getting under your, oh, I got your goat now, Eminem. Woo, I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, I got him, see? I got him. Eminem, I got you. Eminem says, you're talking all that ish about the neighbors. All that ish. Eminem, you ain't said nothing factually true about your party, sir. Right? I know these low-down liberals when I see them. You know what? I can tolerate women being a liberal than over a man. I can't stand a man liberal. I really can't. You irk me like scratching the chalkboard with my fingernails. That's how bad I can't stand the sound of a male blabbering about liberalism. I can't stand it, sir. SD says, let me see here, at some, what's that, Sucumber, whatever. Would you let Trump pat you on the head? Man, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, we got a couple of them coming in here now. It's all good. We got a couple of them in here. Royston Marshall says, Eminem, in Saudi Arabia, nobody protesting with the Palestinian flag. I know, right? Faces 2 years in prison. Go to Saudi Arabia, Eminem. Go to protest transgender rights there. Yeah, I dare you. Eminem, you heard what Royston said to you, addressing you? If you're big and bad, sir, why don't you go over there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? 'Cause you're about that life, sir. Why don't you go over there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're about that life, sir, why don't you go there and protest? You know, if you're with the gay flag that y'all basically desecrated for the Palestinians. I don't care what nobody says. That's a desecration of their flag. Then turn their flag into try to make it into a gay pride flag. Every time I look at that nonsense, man, I get very, very angrily upset about it because it's a slap in their face. They don't stand for that stuff, and Eminem know it. He has not given a concrete argument against all the stuff that I was saying. He thought he was just gonna come in this room and try to agitate MAGA supporters. A lot of these support in my room, most of them are MAGA. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to get on board with it. MAGA, 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 MAGA. Make America great again, Eminem. You know what I'm saying? And anybody else that want to go, and I come for you too. I'm one of the best trollers. I troll better than you do. You a weak troll. You really are though, because you ain't got my goat one time. I got you mad. For you to call me dummy, and that right there will be on the grounds of bumping you out of the room. But I said I'm gonna play with you a little bit more to see how far this go before I kick you out. I ain't got my mods in here right now, and that's cool. If you're a mod in here, let me know. If you're not, then I can handle this one all by myself. Because like I said, this is just pointless. We over here talking about this. He tried to turn this into that. I know the liberals are butthurt. You ain't got no party no more. And you should be arguing amongst your party instead of spending time in this room thinking that you're trying to make a political statement against Trump. You know? That's the thing about it. John Paddock says, no, I don't kick it out. It's amusing. No, I'm not going to kick him out. It is amusing. You know, even with the dummy thing, I'm not upset about it. Thomas Maddox says, God bless Donald John Trump. I know that's right. God bless Donald John Trump, because Trump is the truth, is one of the great presidents in our lifetime right now. Absolutely, in regards to that. And SD, like I said before, you got smoke. Let's hear it. Don't just throw up just words and stuff and, platitudes. Let's go and hear it. Let's hear what you got to say, sir. I mean, you ain't going to let Eminem out-troll you, are you? Here we go again with the platitudes. Come on now. I don't need a party. We are Americans first. It don't sound like it to me, though, sir. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We all are Americans. This ain't about, here we go again. Like I said, you want to insult a man? Let me ask you this, Eminem. I got to know this, man. You got to be truthful with me. What is your real problem with Donald Trump? Can I ask you that question at SD too? What is y'all real issue with Donald Trump? Before I go back on my other topic that I had so earlier. Now, I'm going to give you a minute to answer now, because when you don't answer, I think it's very disingenuous. No. Hold on. No. Eminem, you heard what I asked you. We're not talking about any of that other stuff. I asked you a simple question, Eminem. What is your problem with Donald John Trump? Tell me. Tell me, what is your problem with Donald Trump? Tell me about his policies. Tell me. What is it about Donald Trump policies you don't like? I'm just asking the question. I'll wait. I'm curious to know and find out. He is a fraud. Come on, elaborate more. Give me some meat on those potatoes, man. That's what I'm asking you. What policy? All he has is concepts. Give me something. So with his policies, give me any of his policies, Eminem. Don't just talk in generalizations. Why aren't you why aren't you on here just pumping Project 25? Oh, gosh. Thomas Maddox, fraud. In other words, he has no clue. I know, right? You know, I have dealt with liberals trying to argue against Trump. They talk about, I was waiting on them to bring up Project 2025. My cousin bring up Project 2025. I'm just be asking the question. Trump has 20 bullet points on his campaign website about his policies. But the hatred is real. They will not go on his website. They would rather have fake news, liberal news media tell him about the fear mongering about Trump's policies without them going on his website. I find that very rich. I'm sorry. R says people who can call him a fraud, they really have no answer because they stuck. Okay, because they're stuck in the echo chamber and they have been bamboozled. Yeah, they call him a fraud and they really have no answer. They really don't. I agree with you, R. They really don't. Eminem says, what policy he made? Eminem, oh man, come on. You can't, are you asking me? You're supposed to know when you're throwing out accusations, sir, you're supposed to know the facts about the person that you are against. I gave you the floor to tell me what any of Trump's policies, you don't even know them. You don't even know them. Is the hatred coming from you that much? Trump derangement syndrome is that bad where it has affected your mind where you won't even go on the website and look for yourself? I know you don't know his policy. And you're only repeating Project 2025 because this is what the Hollywood elite's been yelling out. That's the only reason why you know about it. Thomas Maddox says, when has Trump ever said he supported Project 2025? I mean, it's true. I mean, he even gave a campaign speech rally against it. You know, that's the thing about it. But they go on Project 2025. They continue going down this. It's not even a rabbit hole. It's not even a hole. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. We have here Bessie Clown or whatever. 420 says it's easier to convict a man of a lie than it is to convict a man of convict him. He was lied to. Exactly. Lied to and lied about. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they've been doing against Trump. Royston Marshall said Agenda 47 is Trump's policy agenda, but I looked at Project 2025 and I will be honest, I like it. Yeah, because even with Project 2025, there's a lot of things. Now, the only thing about some of the things with Project 25, what is it? I think they talk about revamping the Constitution and the structure of the government. But in a sense, when you look at Project 2025, it has a lot of, conservative values and preserving conservatism. Which I don't find it bad at all because aren't we going in that direction anyway? The majority of the people in this country are conservatives as well as the world. It sure isn't the liberals. The liberals been running this thing since Obama, since 16 years, and we became divided. He was the one that signed on the same-sex marriages, put us in a situation where we have been divided, fighting amongst each other, created the snowflake generation, safe space, critical race theory, political correctness. All this stuff came was birthed out of Obama. And he wasn't even an American in this country and became the president. That's why I said who should be going to jail with those photos that I have up there. Who should be convicted? Tom Carson says the handwriting snowflake pathway falls back on the name calling. Yep, so the handwriting for the snowflakes pathway, it really does. A snowflake party. Okay, I got you. And John says It's a, yeah. John Paddock says Eminem, the Israel-Lebanon war signed. Yeah, they did. They signed a ceasefire, right? Last night. Do you think that would have happened if Kamala won? I'm gonna see what Eminem says about that. Thomas Maddox says, "Really? Whatever that bad, okay, whatever that bad about Project 2025, I don't agree with all of it, but a lot of it I do agree. Yeah, nobody can agree with 100%. It's like almost 1,000 pages. It's based off of 4 pillars of Project 2025. I read through some of it, but yeah, what we need to start doing if they want to, and I know from Heritage Foundation, it's nothing more than a think tank that's pushing conservatism, which is cool and all. But guys, let's go ahead and shorten this down. We don't need a manual script thick as like a medical book. We just want to make stuff more simpler. That's another thing I disagree with. That it don't have to be pages and pages and pages. Introduce the pages little at a time, but don't do that because we know there's a special type of person that will read through all that. Eminem says Donald Trump was routine for the Great Recession. Boy, a Best in Clown says we're in that now. Thomas Maddox says amen. Um, John Paddock says Eminem is MM or for Eminem. I got you. We've been in a quasi recession since COVID. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. John Paddock is correct. Eminem says, "Who's nominated Borders?" Okay, nominated the Borders is one of the authors. Who nominated Borders? Um, Nominated the Borders. Oh, you talking about John? Oh yeah, yeah. Tom Holman. You talking about him? Well, Tom Holman is going to clean it up, sir. If you're referring to him, he is the new border czar, right? And if you're a border czar, you're supposed to carry out the orders instructed from the president's policies, right? So yeah, I believe Tom Holman is definitely is the man that's going to do that. The man with the plan. Read here. The American said those who fear project are not honest enough to admit they have never read it. Absolutely lazy. I agree with that wholeheartedly, American, because again, they take talking points from the Hollywood elites that threw that out. They threw that out in the so-called black leaders. They threw this out. All they do is repeat and regurgitate shit. That's all it is. Royston Marshall says, Eminem, do you have any original thoughts? And I was going to ask the same question. Thank you for bringing that up, Royston Marshall. All I hear from you is sound bites, talking points. That's what I said. You know, that's what I said. He's like, so Eminem's just like, they crying, cry me a river, Pajit have the hand sanitizer and washing his hands. Royston Marshall says, come on, Eminem, give us an original thought. I'm begging you. That's what I've been waiting for myself. Right? That's what I'm thinking about the same thing. SC says that Prius is going to get expensive to fix next year. No, this is, you know what though, SD, this is a 2007 Toyota Prius. One of the best out of all the hybrid vehicles. This is the best engine, one of the best well-made. I have approximately 326,291 miles and counting on my vehicle right now. And I had this car for over 3 years. With the minor work that I have put in this car, I got my money back because I bought it in 2020. And I didn't put a lot of the miles that I put on because I bought it think I had maybe about 150,000 miles on it, and I put the other on there. So I got my money's worth for for 25 or $3,500. It was a investment well spent, sir. Well spent. Royston Marshall says, when I saw Tom Homan, the new border czar, I cleaned the house. He is one mean looking man. I'm not messing with him. Yeah, anybody that I admit I didn't know a whole lot about Tom Homan, but one thing for sure is he sounds like he's the man that's going to do the job for sure. And we need a pit bull right now. You know what I'm saying? Shit. In fact, Trump's whole cabinet is full of pit bulls right now, itching and ready to go. That's why they're trying to block this man on every level, but it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Yeah. So your quantum reality says Tom Homan is a good American. He definitely is, because he's a patriot and things, and he uphold the Constitution. Eminem says Trump has named Brandon Carr, the senior Republican on the Federal Communications Commission, as the next FCC chair. Carr authorized the FCC, for the FCC chapter of Project 2025. Like I said, the people that he is putting in that position are conservatives. I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's not no I got you moment, Eminem, but you never answered the question before. There was a question, Eminem, and we're not going to skim over it. In fact, it was a question that, let me go back. Wait a moment, because we can't, because it was a direct question that was asked of you and things. Let me see. I would like to hear. Let me see here. Was it from you, John Paddock, or which one of you guys that asked him that question? Because I want him to elaborate on that question, though. You know, could you ask? What was it that you asked? What did you ask Eminem? And I wanted him to go back and answer that question again, because we're not going to play this game, though. I want him to answer that question. Could you ask him again, please? Prajeet says Trump is still a light mage. A light mage. Prajeet, you got to elaborate more on that, sir. I don't know if that was a a typo or whatever. Your quantum reality says just because you write something on a piece of paper does not make it law. Absolutely, I agree. John Paddock says Trump's pick is good people. He learned a hard lesson, right? Last term, he did, because he didn't know who the key players was. He had to find out who the rhinos was. He had to find out on the Democratic side who the traitors were as well. These people that did not hold up the Constitution, the corruption. Now that he has a gist of it, and I love his pick for his cabinet, because these people are all outsiders of that old ilk, of that old government corrupt. That's what we're talking about right now. You know. So Royston Marshall says Brandon Carr is against censorship for freedom of speech. He's a constitutionalist. That is a great appointment. Yeah, exactly. Eminem, you need to research these appointments, not just believe what CNN and what's it, CNN and MSNBC tells you. Great appointments, I love. Appointees. Yeah, so Trump has appointed all these people, right, in his cabinet that are outside of the corruption. They're even being certified not by the FBI, because, again, the FBI is what? Corrupt as well. There's very few people in Washington that Trump can trust, and I agree with what Quantum, you and John had to say about it. One of y'all just said about the fact about how uh, Trump have learned a whole lot since his first 4 years in office, you're absolutely correct. Yep. Caroline Levitt was an assistant press secretary in the first Trump. I remember that in Trump's White House, and also contribute to Page and Project 2025. You know, so what I'm saying is it such a bad thing that these people that he picked? Is it such a bad thing because if you really think about it, Project 2025 has a lot to do with points and what else? It's like they give their they give their advice. There we go, to presidents that are conservative as to they share good, because there's some good things in Project 2025. It's not all bad, but I know most, like you said, most of these people have never read it. I don't think it's such a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all, as long as it goes with the Constitution. You know, if they support the Constitution, then it's no problem at all. This is what it's all about. But they're trying to make this thing as a monster, and it's not the case. I have heard the ridiculous stories from the left about how they're going to set up the president as a monarchy, fear mongering. What else did they talk about? They want to set this thing up. I've heard stories about how Trump is going to basically send martial law in, like the Gestapo. Anybody that agrees against him are going to be basically sent to the firing squad. What else have they lied about? I've heard all these things. Oh yeah, he's supposed to be getting rid of Medicare, Medicaid. Everything is going into you either have the money or not. He's going to be looking out for the rich. The poor is going to suffer. He's a racist. He's a bigot. He's anti-American, anti-government. All this stuff they were saying about Trump. All this stuff they said this stuff about him when he first came down that golden escalator. You know what I'm saying? It's so sad. Let me see here. So Eminem said they don't though. Prajeet says we are land of the free Mason. Land of the free Mason. Prajeet says this is my emotional manipulate to get you talking. They don't mean any of that. Could be true. Prajeet, yeah, it could be true. Eminem says Stephen Miller also added to Project 2025 advisory group. Let me see here. Prajeet says everyone knew he was going to win. I ain't gonna say everyone knew. MAGA people, a lot of MAGA people knew he was going to win, though. That's for sure. But keep it real, though, Prajeet. Most of the people that were, most of the people that were liberals, they thought they were the majority group in this country. That's why they were so upset to come to find out that 1.8 million votes was what Kamala had going on. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was a landslide by far. It was so embarrassing. You know, Royston Marshall says Trump used tariffs in his first term, which is true, which brought the inflation down to 1.4. I remember that. You know what, Royston? They talk about tariffs because, again, they get these talking points from these supposed gurus, especially on Bloomberg. When Trump said on there, Trump destroyed Bloomberg, Michael Bloomberg. You guys remember that. He destroyed him on tariffs, and he's supposed to be the expert, right? Oh, yeah, it's going to bring the prices up. And they just repeat talking points that they don't have no idea what they're talking about. But yeah, that's why he brought the inflation down. With tariffs, remember Royston Marshall? Trump did the high tariffs on China. And I forgot approximately, maybe you may know this, Royston, I forgot how much he hit China up. It was a lot of money coming into the country. The news media never talked about it at all. Most Americans don't even know that. They don't even know that. And then when Trump had the Keystone Pipeline going, man, we was a mass producing of resources like the oil and things like that, fracking was going on. We was booming, baby. We already knew it. We already knew it though. These were the reasons why, as Royston Marshall said, down to 1.4. I think the lowest we may have had is 1%. The highest it ever went up is 1.8%. And this was COVID, ladies and gentlemen. Even when we had the supposed pandemic, we went as high as 1.8. It was still under 2%. You know, we still were, keeping it real. Eminem says John Radcliffe is listed as a contributor to Project 2025, Mandate Leadership. John Paddock says, Eminem, do you realize Trump used to, I think it said, be a registered Democrat? Anybody that know Trump should know that. That's another question to you, Eminem, man. You got to start answering these questions, man. I'm beginning to wonder, are you rattled by the pressure of the questions? Come on now. Eminem says Elon offered $1 million sweepstakes. Royston Marshall says, Eminem, of course, the authors of Project 2025 are going to speak to conservatives about they want a future republic government. Yeah, absolutely correct. They want a future republic government. Let's not forget about this. Eminem says now he will inherit 5 Harris's good policies. You know what, man? Oh, man. Now, Eminem, you really are trolling me now, sir. You really are. You got to admit, Harris' good policies, you better know them. Because now I'm going to ask you again now. Please educate the room of Harris's good policy, sir. I was waiting on you. You messed up now, so we ain't gonna talk about nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. Don't type up anything else right now. Everybody ask Eminem that question. What is Harris' good policies, a good economy? I want to know, what is her good economy, sir? The free opportunity economy? Explain what that is. I would like to know, please. Ask him, Eminem, asking the question. What is Harris' good economy? Please. John Paddock says tariffs used to fund the government before personal income tax. Absolutely, that is correct. I brought this up many of times, John Paddock, because if you're talking about the history of it from 1791 before 1913, you are correct, sir. And also, you should know who the godfather of the Treasury is, which is Alexander Hamilton. So this goes to his point. And America had enough surplus of money. But you know what, John Paddock? Most Americans do not know this. They don't know this. They don't know the history of this country before the Federal Reserve Bank. They don't know this stuff. They don't know it at all. I know where you're going with it, though, because I've read this myself. 1791 up to 1913. 1913 is when the Federal Reserve Bank was established. This is the turning point where Americans were getting hit with an income tax. The IRS is another unlawful anti-government agency that have touched the shores of America. In fact, there's 12 of them across the United States. So this is why we have succumbed to paying taxes. With the Rockefellers and the titans of industry that set this up, they had a secret meeting. The book is called The Creature of Jekyll Island. It talks a lot. It goes in a lot of detail. Detail on that. Royston Marshall says Elon's sweepstakes was for people registering to vote. Eminem, you want citizens to vote on election, right? John Paddock says Eminem at the dispensary testing products. Nothing to see here. That's an interesting name. Nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to see here. He will inherit an economy outperforming most in terms of inflation and with tariffs makes it worse. This is what nothing to see here. John Paddock says that's when we were paid the gold and silver coin. Exactly, John Paddock. See, they're not versed on the history of this country, John Paddock, as you already know. They don't understand. We were taken off the gold standards. In fact, if we were to think about it, 1913, the Federal Reserve Bank was established. This is documented. 1934 went the Gold Act, where people were told to turn in their gold, silver. 1963, no, before 63, when it might have been in 63 too. This is where you already know JFK tried to take us back on the gold standards. He was assassinated and killed for that reason. 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard again in 71. So we had a history of what's been going on in this country and things like that. So, so people that don't understand how tariffs work, because they have not been students of, they just repeating stuff of what they heard on the news. They never talk about Alexander Hamilton at all. That's what, and many people don't even know who he is, which is sad. Which is sad. Eminem says American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, a 1.9 trillion stimulus bill that was temporarily established, expanded unemployment, insurance, and sent, you know. But like I said, I'm not gonna. And eventually, Eminem, I'm gonna stop reading your stuff because you came in here being very disingenuous. Let me tell you why. Because I allow you to be able to bring up talking points. You brought up talking points and narratives, and you will not answer my stuff. People been in this room. If you notice, I haven't really been trying to. If y'all notice with me, I stopped trying to convince Eminem at all because he's like really many liberals. They bring up questions. They try to overwhelm you with questions. And when you answer them, a question becomes another question. Have you noticed the pattern with liberals? He's another one. I've dealt with debates with these people. It's nothing in the debate because all they do is ask you a question because what he's trying, his goal is to get you on a I got you moment. And this is what they do. Very disingenuous. And I'm getting to the point now that I'm getting tired of playing this game with you. Because as I stated before, you've been disingenuous. SD has been disingenuous as well, too. Both of you are trying to work this thing tandem. Trying to be, and you really, it's bad. It's a bad look for you. That's why I stop answering the questions if you notice. I'm not going to go into it no more. And even reading your stuff, I'm just going to go and ignore it and keep on going because you have shown great disingenuous with us and in this room, and you have not been upfront with what it is that you've been doing. So and now I'm just going to go ahead and ignore it and keep going down the list. Prajeet said it was illegal to own gold, pretty sure. All right, went into the history of that, Prajeet. Royston Marshall says, Eminem, what is a woman? Yeah, I'll let you guys play with him on that. I'm done playing now. I got to go on and move on to something else because it's just disingenuous, you know? Yeah, it's just, I'm not going to do that, man. John Paddock says, Prajeet, only corporations, no private citizens were ever persecuted. Yeah, corporations, you know? Let me see here. Prajeet says, thank you for clarity, Johnny Boy. John says, Eminem, you just lost. He can kick you now. Yeah, I could, because I'm done playing the game with him. Because as I stated before, with crazy leftist liberals, they come in here with not in good intentions. It's bad because they keep asking questions. What about Project 2025? Who's on the board? It's a I got you moment. They learn this from the fake media. They do the same thing. It's very disingenuous. It's just outright disrespectful, is what it is. But we are the majority group, ladies and gentlemen. The MAGA, Make America Great Again. We run the Republican Party. We running the government soon enough, and we're gonna be running the country with conservative values and rules. So I let them run Project 2025 all that they want. We all a part of it. Project 2025, even though Trump didn't create it, but a lot of the talking points is all here. And we're going to go back to the old, good old-fashioned conservatism, because this country was built off of conservatism. You know what I'm saying? My family were conservatives. We weren't no liberals. That came Johnny come late later. So there's no argument about that. And I wish you guys can still continue talking about Project 2025, but at least I read some of it. I can't say the same for you, some of you that have not even looked at it. I'm talking about the liberals. They haven't even looked at it. That's all these talking points, man. Crazy. So let me see here. Jay says, LOL, yes, these liberals are crazy. Absolutely. Tough Guy says, I think they got something on Eminem. Oh yeah, Ben has something on Eminem. I don't even read his stuff anymore. Your Quantum Reality says, please educate yourself, Eminem. He won't. That's the thing about it, Your Quantum Reality. He will not even try to educate people. He just put up topic or statements at this point. He'll make a statement of what he done heard on TV and then won't educate anybody, won't elaborate on it. I asked him the question, like someone else in the room asked him this question. I think it was John or one of you guys. He asked him a question. Well, actually, I'm sorry, he didn't. No, it was actually Eminem. He said about Harris's economical plan. And I was actually hoping that he would talk about it. But he did not. He didn't bring up nothing about Harris's economical plan at all. They talk of this good stuff, but what was so good about it? Everybody wanted to know. She had all the opportunity to be able to talk about this thing, and she failed. She was even on Oprah Winfrey show. Had the opportunity to talk about it. Who's your daddy and all this stuff. She had the opportunity to talk about it. All these Howard Stern. She had an opportunity to talk about it. Steve Colbert. She had an opportunity to talk about it, and it didn't educate nobody. It just sound good, and that's what Eminem sounds like to me. They've been taught how to have these. Not even a debate. It's just you can bring up platitudes and talk about, put out like a statement, and don't have to back it up. This is how the liberals get down. They really, truly believe that they don't have to back anything up. It's very, very disrespectful, also disingenuous. It really is. All right, so let me see here. Let me see where I leave off at. Okay, nothing to see here. Does the price of eggs still matter? See, when you ask these people, when you ask these leftists these type of questions, you know what I'm saying? They won't answer it. Prajit says, what is the more important life of a woman's property? I don't, let me even see here. You don't have to elaborate more on that, Prajit. Pixel Mayhem says, what's real media? It's definitely not what we got going on right now with a whole bunch of propaganda, Pixel Mayhem. That's not real media at all. If you notice, the legacy mainstream media is on the decline down. What is coming up is these independent journalists, what we call a lot of them that they host space in these social media type things. That's the future of media. That's where it's going. It's been that way though. So that's real media. Real journalists without the control or without being on the take of corporations telling them and pushing agendas. That's real media. Prajit says Prajit, thank God. You gotta go a little bit more in depth there, a little bit more detail there, Prajit. Any negative freedom. Okay, I can get with that. Praise God. Okay, there we go, Prajeet. That's what I'm saying. There we go. Put some meat on those potatoes now. Uh, Pixel Mayhem says, you don't sound like someone that believes from old conservatism. So what's your definition of old conservatism? Are you always referring to what's your thing on conservatism? My view, I can tell you mine if you're asking me. My beliefs of conservatism: when a man is a man and a woman is a woman. That's what I remember. We had the sanctity of marriage, children. Men went into the men's bathroom, women went into the women's bathroom. We prayed, right? A lot of us that grew up Christian, right? We went to church on Sundays. I can go a whole list of stuff, right? We were not walking around here with our ass out, tattoos, being foul mouth. Women, you didn't hear women cursing like they do today. Like I said before, we had a series of Christian values that we grew up with, right? And this is what kept our society intact for a very long time. This is what we mean about conservatism, sir. I'm not one of these guys that believe I'm a man that think I'm a woman. When you ask me what is a woman, I can tell you what a woman is. She's feminine. She is the opposite of a man by being feminine and raising her family, raising her children, and so forth, right? Supporting her husband, understanding her role in life, and so forth. This is all about what a woman is about, under the protection and authority of a man, right? Prajeet says everyone benefits from conservatism. You got that right, Prajeet. Conservatism is the closest thing to human nature. Absolutely. We don't have to think about being conservative. It's not a struggle to be conservative. Thank you for bringing that point up, Prajeet. It just is, like you said, the closest thing to human nature. John Paddock says Joe Rogan offers her 3 hours. Yeah, that's correct. He offered. You hear what John Paddock said? He said that Joe Rogan, and he did. Joe Rogan extended the opportunity for Kamala Harris to come on his show and to explain her, and just to get to know her. And we already know what ended up happening. She refused the offer. Kamala can't speak more than 20 minutes, let alone 30 minutes. Come on now. Your quantum reality says if you're on the right or you're on the left, your best move is center. And I can respect that to a degree, though, you know what I'm saying? Because you shouldn't be too far on anything. Certain things you may have to show some type of discernment, but let's face it. Elon Musk started off as a moderate. Let's keep it real. In the beginning, he didn't back Trump. He didn't track it. But in this particular case, you have to pick a side. The choice was very obvious for Elon, just like it was with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan played the middle. He wasn't for left or for right, even though he may have had some type of forms of liberalism and so forth, being liberal and all that. But at the end of it all, he ended up voting for Trump. So I'm talking about in this particular administration, right? John Paddock said the biggest podcast in the world. He's number one. Joe Rogan, and we could see why, right? I don't listen to Joe Rogan a lot or a lot of podcasters very much. I do listen to some of them. I'm not a big Joe Rogan listener to call myself a fan. The stuff that I've heard Joe Rogan talk about seem to be very, very knowledgeable, very, very intelligent, stand-up comedian, and all the rest of that stuff. So I think that he has something, he has a gift in regards to that. So, yeah, can talk about what they call Renaissance men. There's another guy that I know that's a Renaissance man as well. His name is Tommy Sotomayor. He's another one that can go on all levels of conversation. Very few people that have that talent that can do that. Podcasters on social media is the new media. Absolutely. That is correct. That is the future of where media is going to, Prajeet says, What's more important, your rights to life and freedom of speech, or a woman's rights to have property inside her belly? That is the argument about women's rights. Yeah, exactly, Prajit. Yes, absolutely. Because where the left was trying to push that agenda stuff, my body, my rights, thinking that they were going to be banned, for being able to go out here and have that. That's why Trump played it down the middle. He was smart by taking the power away from the government and giving it back to the state. What overturned Roe v. versus Wade. But the reproductive rights was never a ban. But tell me why they ran the scare tactic from the left, liberals, to say that Trump was going to take that away. They still triple down on that now. 10 toes down, they triple down on that type of nonsense. They still actually believe that Trump is this tyrant of a man that's going to go out here and do these things against the people, the citizens of America. Trump is a true patriot as well as a constitutionalist. That's why I rock with Trump and his policies that I have read. But a lot of these liberals can't even discipline themselves and put their hate down to even look at his policies. Um, Agatha Kirk, are you related to Charlie Kirk? Big fan of Charlie Kirk. I wouldn't care how he registered years ago. Trump has the same commitments to Constitution that the American people have required. Trump has offered the best leadership qualities for this nation. You said it. That's another mic drop right there, Agatha Kirk. I couldn't say it no better. He is the embodiment and the best reputation of a real president in our lifetime. I salute you to that. You are 100% correct. Prajit says, we used to be a nation, man. Yeah, that's true, Prajit. We did. Royston Marshall said a woman does not wear those rings at all, those nose rings. Yeah, a real woman don't wear the bull rings. I know what you're talking about. That when you see all that in tattoos, you can tell she's it's not, yeah, it's no shocker right there, right? You could tell. You could tell that just by looking at it. Prajit says, you making me miss it now. I take it, Prajit, that you're not living in America right now. Well, Prajit, I mean, I'm sure that you could work on getting the pathway to citizenship, and you can come on over here to the good old America. I take it that you're from India, or is it Pakistan or Bangladesh? Which one is it? That's cool. Prajit says she's a clown. She's that and some, though, Prajit. John Paddock says, I do. I get stuck in tractors for hours upon hours. Are you a farmer? And things, it's all good because I salute farm. I got people here that are farmers, people that are veterans, and military, ex-military. I got friends that served in the armed forces and stuff. All is welcome. Nothing to see here. Prajit, Trump literally paints his face every morning, though. Nothing to see here. Yeah, like I said, nothing to see here. You're entitled for your opinion, but if you were to read what the young lady has to say earlier that I just read, let me read it again for you. And this ain't about convincing, but she said, Agatha Kirk said, I wouldn't care how he registered years ago. Trump has the same commitment to the Constitution that the American people have, right? Required. Trump has offered the best leadership qualities for this nation, and she is 100% spot on. And this is why one of the main reasons that I love Trump as well, because of his stance on the Constitution. But there's a lot of liberals in this country that they don't know the Constitution, they don't read it, they don't know anything about it. They don't know how the system works, and they have this totalitarian type silence of speech, freedom of speech. They hate the First Amendment right off the bat. They can't stand that. They hate the Second Amendment. They don't like that. What else are other amendments that they just do not like? Those are the two major ones which are in direct violation. Um, to hate that, to me, you are anti-American. And that's why we got to start calling them out. The liberals with that old mindset that want to preach transgender, all this other nonsense, is anti-American. It goes against our family conservative values. You know, exactly what it is. Right. Let me see here. Where was I here? I'm gonna go up, go down. He had to scroll back up. Um, okay. Right. Let me see here. Gotta go down here. Yeah, I look like I missed a whole lot. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. John Paddock says, nothing to see. It's not my responsibility to pay your child daycare. It sure isn't. Just like it's not our responsibility to pay for these transgender stuff and all that. We don't even have to worry about that no more. They just call men in skirts. All right. So Pixel Mayhem says, yeah, I already read that one, didn't I? Oh no, one says nothing to see here. They can't care about the kids. They just want more meat for the grinders. That's all it is. Prajit, women and children need strong dads. Absolutely, Prajit. This is one of the main problems in the so-called black community. They destroyed, the Democratic Party also destroyed the nucleus of the black family unit right over here in America. After 1965, you can pull it up. It's there if you Google it. There's a thing called the Patrick Moynihan report, where he talked against what Nixon, I'm sorry, not Nixon, what Lyndon B. Johnson was doing when they implemented the Welfare Act. And that's what ended up happening. America says yes to strong men figures at the homes, a solid structure. Exactly. And we are going back to that point in time. So it's not nothing to be despair about now. We are going back to the golden age of conservatism as well as America. Royston Marshall says, I don't care if Trump paints his face blue. I know that's right. Every day is his policy that I love. Exactly. Because each and every one of you that are MAGA or not, or even moderate, you have read Trump's policies and you know it. You don't have to necessarily admit that you're a MAGA. That's cool. But one thing about it is that at least you have taken time to read Trump's policies. The liberals will not. The American says that's MAGA. Sure is. Nothing to see here says painting face comment was a response to the dude calling anyone else a clown. Okay, maybe we misread it. Okay, right. Okay, man. Okay, painting your face. Right, right. Oh, okay. Prajit, no more out of wedlock kids. No more single moms. I agree. I agree with that, Prajit. She is. Prajit says, you think that person has gonna win? Okay, I know that's a mistypo. I get it. I've done that too. She can't talk unless Trump is an outfit with no circus. Yeah. She took an attack on Trump and things constantly. I mean, her whole campaign was about denouncing Trump. Let's keep it 100. It sure was. Pixel Mayhem says pro-lifters or lifers, don't really care about the kids. What I'm trying to say. Well, yeah, the pro-lifers do care. Well, I'll say this. The pro-lifers do care about the kids, though. They really do. Because we have enough problems already with these abortion clinics and stuff like that. Most of MAGA are pro-life. They're not necessarily pro-choice. They're pro-life. Because we understand, though, to terminate a child is murder. Whether you believe it or not, it's still a living life. If you got to at least recognize that. let's just say if I was liberal, I would I would have to actually come clean and say, "Was you still right?" You know, definitely so. It's still murdering a life. We can't try to dress it up other than that of what it is. You know, nobody or no one should be given the right to murder. Just keep it real. Upon a conception, no matter what. Exactly. Once it has been conception, it's a life. I mean, it's no gray matter or trying to figure it out and all this other kind of stuff. It's a life, right? So that's what I say with a lot of liberals. They refuse to educate themselves. A lot of them suffer from TDS, which stands for Trump Derangement Syndrome. Yeah, conception is life. Exactly. They refuse to agree on most conservative things. The majority of this country are conservative. The majority of the world is conservative. Just look around. You can go as far as India to Africa or the Far East Asia. Some of these they have the largest family nucleus than we do here in the West. That's a known fact. Most of these people are married with children, and they are content and happy with that. Generations down, how we used to be here in America. Brigitte says, "Your heart is pure, young man. Thank you for speaking and giving others the opportunity to your platform to discuss." Oh, I appreciate it, Brigitte. I do. Whether if see the thing about it, I try to give everybody a voice because that's where it should be. As you know and I know, you can't go on everyone's platform and talk like this because we already know if it's something that they don't like that you say, you automatically get canceled, right? I give everybody a chance, man, to express themselves and to educate as to why if I'm saying in other words, if Kamala or the Democrat liberals are so great, let's talk about it. Educate me on something that I may not know. Right, exactly. Right? Um, Royston Marshall says, "How do you know he is young?" It's probably my voice. I take that as a compliment, you Royston Marshall. I take it as a compliment, man. I'm not upset, with that or whatever. I take it as a compliment, actually. Prajeet says the First Amendment goes to the side for the freaks. Yeah, I mean goes to sideline. Yeah, because that's the yeah we already know. Prajeet, you just said it. The liberals hate the First Amendment as well as the Second Amendment. There's a lot of them there that they just do not like. They want this snowflakey, can't take it. Everybody agree on the same thing, which we don't. You know what I'm saying? There's never there's nothing that we can all agree on, even in this room. Not on everything. John Paddock says, "I agree with Prajeet. Um, Settled and liked. Yeah, thumbs up. Same here. I got some thumbs up." Prajeet says, "Bring back bullying, right?" And I hate to say that, but I agree because I was bullied like most of us. It let us know how to deal. Bullying is an introduction of what you may occur in the real world one day. You know, they hate speaking. Yeah, like what the, yeah, exactly. The WTF. So, yeah, these are the things right here that, um, with the freedom of speech, which was concerning me with the left, they pushed these agendas so far that they alienated their voter block of men. They offended a lot of men and women that were also conservative too, telling the women they automatically thought they had this stuff in the bag. They thought they thought liberal women were going to vote against Trump. They found out today that that wasn't the case. Nothing to see here says as soon as a liberal candidate calls y'all deplorable, you whine, crit you. No, we don't whine and whatever. We the thing about it, nothing to see. I gave you the floor to educate this room and give me reasons about why the liberal people or candidates are so much better than the conservatives. I even asked the same question with Eminem when he was in here. I didn't block Eminem. He may have left or he's maybe quiet right now, but I'm going to give you the same opportunity. But you guys will not state your argument at all. You will not educate people as to why liberal is so much better. I'm giving you the floor, nothing to see. Now I'm fixated on you. And I'm asking you these questions. Don't speak in platitudes. Don't speak, don't do the just posting up shit. Let's go ahead and answer it, man. Let's go ahead and answer it. I want nothing to see here. Educate me in this room why liberal policies are so much better for America. Let's go. I'm waiting on him to answer that question. John Paddock says, nothing to see here. You are so wrong. I want him to let us know he think that we're wrong, but I want him to answer that question. And I'm going to hold your feet to the flame since you brought that up. We're not going to move one iota, nothing to see. I'm on you now. I'm fixated on you like I was on Eminem. John Paddock says, we make hay with comments like that. Look at Trump in the garbage truck. Yeah, I know, right? I love that meme, man. I love that other one with him and Kamala, man. I laughed so hard. I was laughing with Mama about that one. Nothing to see here says, I miss your question. I'm going to ask you again so that way we are clear. I want to know I want to know for the liberal side of things. Since we got it wrong as being a conservative back in Trump, educate us on the liberal side. What does being liberal is great about? I'm going to come at it another way. What is being liberal going to be so great about fixing America? Let's go right there. Go. Royston Marshall says, nothing to see here. Enough of the name calling. Tell me, do you support a wall on the southern border? John Paddock says, all eyes on nothing to see here. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I just asked him that question. We're not going to move past this. I'm tired of putting up. I want him to answer a question. Why? You got to be able to sell me on the liberal side, right? I want to know from nothing to see here. I'm fixating on him now, right? And I'm asking the question again because you have to sell it on the liberal. Why should we accept liberalism? Why should we accept Harris? Why should we accept her policies? I would like to know. You have to educate me. I'm asking you right now. Pimp on the Blind says the biggest wall with a landmines and giant crocodiles. I know, right? But I want I'm sorry. What's his name? Nothing to see here. I want you to educate this room, right? On the being a liberal and all this stuff. I want you to answer that. Educate us. See, this is what I do with liberals as well. You have to be able to educate us, right? You have to be able to educate us. Because I know more about, you got to keep in mind, you may not know my past. There's a lot of blacks that have voted Democrat for a long time. I never have in my life, but there are family members that I have. And unfortunately, I have a lot of family members and friends, too, that are liberal, keeping it real. But when I ask the question in regards to their policies from their party, and I ask this, how is it benefiting the country? And I'm asking you right now, nothing to see here. Now, I haven't heard a text from you yet, but this happens, ladies and gentlemen, this happens all the time. My biggest gripe with liberals is that they're disingenuous when asking questions that pertain. When I ask them a question, see, they so used to asking conservatives questions that they have forgot. When a person throw it back at them, they don't answer the questions. That's why I call them disingenuous people. They really are. Royston Marshall says, nothing to see here. Do you support Trump's remain in Mexico policy? See, these are questions that's being asked of him. We have answered his questions, but he will not answer our questions. John Paddock says we could put airsoft turrets in the walls, rent them out to online to play and play. I mean, to play and to pay for the wall. But Mexico already paid for the wall. Yeah, they already paid for the wall and things like that. I mean, that's how the wall got up. The liberals even lied about that. No, they did not pay for the wall. We had to pay for the wall. They don't even understand. Their policy is not of being. The liberals used to say that their policy was for the blue collar worker, right? A party of tolerance, a party of love, a party of acceptance. How do I know what their policies are? And that was their original stance. They were the party of acceptance, right? The party of tolerance. Have you seen any liberals being a party of acceptance and party of tolerance? Anytime you go or disagree with anything a liberal has to say, they get bent out of shape. See, here he goes now. Hold on for a minute, guys. I'm about to get to nothing to say. I got his goat, just like I got Eminem's goat. I'm about to go there. Prajeet says, me too. Fools follower. Real guns, right? Nothing to see here. Here we go. I was waiting on you. Nothing to see. There he go. Here he go. Here go the thing. Here we go. There he goes. Rambling instead of reading. There you go. There you go. See? Remember what I said. This is a deflection tactic. It's not going to work. Nothing to see. I made myself very clear when I asked you that question, and we ain't going no further. Because now you're just not only being disingenuous, you're being inconsiderate at the same time. Because I gave you the floor, sir, and I asked you several times to educate us on the liberal side. You did not. And this is what I'm saying, though. You guys are light work to me, man. And one thing I can't stand, I don't know if you are a man or a woman, but I'm going to say, you sound like you are a man. And one thing I really cannot stand is a liberal man at all. Makes no sense to be a liberal male. See, it makes more sense for a woman to be liberal than a man. You ain't getting nothing out of it being used. You can't even give me here's another question for you, nothing to see here. You give me just one reason for a man to be a liberal today. Give me one. And I can defeat several of them and knock that down. You won't answer any questions. You are disingenuous, disrespectful. You will not answer any questions. And then I can already tell that I got your goat. I calling you out, and you won't have enough decency to defend or to educate the people in this room why liberalism is so great. You won't tell it. Prajeet says they forget they have to prove themselves. They hate it. Yeah, they do. John Paddock says not lethal, just what's that? Nuts. LOL. LUL, yeah, nothing to see here. She plans to subsidize the first-time home buyers. Nothing to see here. Let's go back to the first question I asked you. It's not even about her policy. I'm asking you about the whole liberal side, right? I gave you information on being a conservative. All of the stuff on the conservative side. Being for family, unit, all this other stuff. Christian or religion, whether you're Christian or not, everybody has a religion. Hindu, we also have others that are Muslim. We all have something in common. The nucleus of the family unit, right? Having safe neighborhoods, having the right for freedom of speech, right? Education is high there as well. I've gave you every example of what it is to be a conservative. You haven't given me nothing to be a liberal other than bringing up this stuff about her homeowner, home buyers thing. That's way down the list, sir. We talk about what is it. So you got to sell me once again on what it is to be liberal. Now go. Prajeet says Kamala is deplorable. John Paddock says nothing to see. That is discrimination and doesn't help inflation. I agree. But we're going to get there, though. We're going to get there. I want him to answer that question I asked him. To sell me on the liberal side. Why is it that the liberals are so have it right and we have it wrong? That's the question I have for him. Prajeet, Prajeet says if he is a man, he is a beta. Oh, for sure. Prajeet says it does. He needs protection from women. Yeah, because I've never seen the benefit of a man being a liberal. They can't even answer that. It would look better if they were LGBT. If he would have said that he's on that he benefited from DEI, he benefited from the Affirmation Center, all this other stuff, where there's a lot of laws and money that has been put on them to behave this way. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But he hasn't, if he's a man, he should be able to still tell me and sell me on the liberal side. Prajeet says so overeducated they can't do 10 push-ups. Royston Marshall says the $25,000 first-time house buyer would have been added to the price for these homes by selling, and it would fuel inflation. You know what? That's why I didn't even go into that, Royston. I know what you know on that. I wasn't even going to even entertain that because he still hasn't answered my question. It's not even about this opportunity economy crap stuff that he have heard what she was trying to promise. I asked him a simple question, and I would ask Kamala Harris the same thing. Sell me on how the liberals have it right and how the conservatives have it wrong. That's the question. John Paddock said, Royston, they never think tax money. Their money and needs to be paid back. That's exactly what it is, because it all falls on the taxpayers. But hear what he says. He says, nothing to see here. Liberalism is generally about acceptance, multiculturalism, and with the state playing a significant role of regulations and equality. We know that a lot of this of what you said is not that at all. This is what the party claims to be about, but they really aren't. They're not acceptance of everybody. I mean, like I said before, they were the ones that saying they were the party of acceptance. They were the party of love. They were the ones. They were the party of all this being. Being the ones of being tolerable for other people and other things. As soon as you disagree with any of these talking points, they fall apart. I have not heard you mention about religion at all. And most of the people that I know that believe in this type of ideology hate religion and they hate the Constitution. I have not heard you say freedom of speech, right? You said acceptance. In fact, you put that on there at the first. You said generally about the acceptance of multicultural. That is at your core value for everybody being part of something that doesn't have a basis of people's rights. Yeah, we know, and that's the thing about it. They don't have a real core value of something to really stand on. John Paddock says, nothing to see here. How many Democrats voted for 1964 Civil Rights Act? Nothing to see here says, how our conservative party, so small in government, telling people, we're not small in government. If you remember, we took the House, we took the Senate, we took the, the Supreme Court. He won the popular vote. We're not small. That's not true. We are the majority in this country, sir. Damn near 80 million that voted for Trump. How can you call that small? And the government is the people, sir. No, no, no. The government are the people, sir. No, no. The government are the people. We the people, sir. The government is us. They represent us, but the government, the real government, are the people. The majority of the people have chosen their president, sir. Royston Marshall said the Democrats or the Democrat-controlled states have taken us to the edge of World War III. It's absolutely correct. Nothing to see here says that's why conservatives call themselves the party of small government. No, we're the large government now because we have the majority. And we're going to keep it that way on conservative values. Nothing to see here. You either going to get on board with it or you always have the opportunity to leave and go to another country. We do not want to accept any of these type of poisoned ideologies that have never worked, and you have Obama to thank for that. You know, the same-sex marriages and all this stuff is going to stop. And we have destroyed that. We have destroyed your movement. We have destroyed your what you stand on, because you do not stand on truth. You do not stand on when it comes down to the sanctity of a man and a woman. You do not stand on freedom of speech. You hate the Second Amendment, and therefore I call you anti-American. You are, sir. You are an anti-American, and we don't have no place for anti-American people here. Not here. Royston Marshall says, let me go back up here and read. I don't want to miss anything. John Paddock says, nothing to see here. That is more of a libertarian stance, which it is. Royston Marshall says, nothing to see here. Answer some questions. Nothing to see here says, you clearly are not that clued up. I'm out of here. We ran him off. See, that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. All I did is just walk him down on the questions. He will not answer. Throw up something about liberalism like we don't know, like you ain't telling us nothing. I told you to sell me on something, sir. I told you, since you want to be a post speaker for this liberal leftist whacked out far left is really what it is, though. You've forgotten your core values about the little man having a fair chance, the party of acceptance, the party of love, all the rest of this stuff. They are not. We already proved that. Let me see here. John Paddock says he left. Get over the question. Yeah, I was waiting on him to bounce up on out of here. You ain't got to block them. You just got to single them out and get them to try to answer those questions. Pixel Mayhem says, see, it's the overreach into people's personal lives that I don't understand. What happened to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? John Paddock says, Pixel, that's what I want. Exactly. That's what a lot of us want. Just like as I was getting there, but they don't believe in that at all. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is constitutional. They, like Nothing to See and Eminem and SD, they are, that's why I call them they're anti-American. They hate the fact of being a real American. They never talk about the Constitution. They believe that the Constitution is some type of racist ideology for some and not for others. We know where this is going, because you may as well go ahead and say that. That's exactly what it is. This is exactly what their talking points are and what they believe in. You will never convince these liberals. This is why they always have been a minority group. They always have. We just got tired of it when they started pushing these far left agendas. And like it is, he'll jettison himself right on out this room. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is. I let them do it. They are the ones. All you got to do is put the pressure on them. We're asking him a series of questions. And you're not going to do any more answer questions to conservatives, because every conservative have answered those questions. You guys going to start answering some questions, or you can bounce. Nothing to see here says, I hope this is going to be the last one that you have to say. More? How Yoda said, more do you have to say? How is, here go question again. How is the states playing a significant role in regulation, libertarian idea? What is the brain dead response? See, they always ask you a question back. See? But he's been very, nothing to see. You have been very disingenuous once again. Because you did not sell me. You thought you got off the hook. You didn't sell me what you just said earlier to me about being liberal. You got to sell it to me. I'm still not convinced, sir. You have not mentioned anything at all. So nobody else. We got to go in there answering these questions no more. We're not doing that. We're going to put their feet to the flame. I know those tactics, and they don't work here. They don't work here. I'm going to put your feet to the flame, sir, and you better answer these questions or you can leave. Pixel Mayhem said he's just said that he wants to get rid of gay marriage. He just said he wants to get rid of. Why does he care? Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. I'm not gonna go into any of that. I asked him a question to sell me about the left. Just like Kamala had she had an opportunity on all these platforms, and she didn't do it. So since nothing to see here want to step up, I want him to answer these questions. And you're gonna answer these questions as long as you're in this room. I'm fixated on you. You're gonna answer these questions. John Paddock says, Pixel, why do you think? Why do you need a government to say who you love or live with? Pixel says there are tax breaks associated with marriage. There are legal reasons for people to get married officially. And if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't care either way. John Paddock says, Pixel, you need to understand most of us don't care. We want it rubbed out of our faces. I'm in agreement. I don't care either way. That is not my concern. If somebody want to be gay and same-sex marriages, you know, the thing about it is we're talking about the sanctity of a man and a woman, the way that this country was built on. And if they are having a bad job of selling their liberal side of it, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. And he been in here disingenuous and all, and things. You know what I'm talking about. Who was nothing to see here? Eminem, SD, come in my chat, come in this room, and be disingenuous. And I just asked a simple question. Because like I said, I know the game with the liberals because they try to get you in an aha moment. And the MAGA are just too smart for that, though, man, to be honest. There's no gotcha moment here. But I got you, sir, because I asked you that simple question. And you have to be willing to sell it to the American people. Because we stand on the Constitution, freedom, liberty, and the right to pursue happiness. That's what being conservative is all about, sir. So you got something that's better than selling what I just said, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. Nothing to see here says, ain't nothing wrong with welfare to an extent. That's why I say I can go into the whole detail of the whole welfare thing, who it benefited and who it did not. I'm not even gonna go into that because you always asking these questions, throwing up all this stuff. You ain't answering my question yet. And we're not moving one iota until you answer that question or you can bounce. We have our own culture now, a culture that is beyond race. Yeah, that culture that we have, because we are the majority in this country, and you have lost. You are a loser. You're lost, nothing to see. Your policies have been shot down. The Democratic Party is destroyed. Liberalism is gone out the window. You have nothing to stand on. You may as well be like those disgruntled liberal ass bitches and just go and shave your fucking head and say that I'm not having no sex with a woman if that's what if that's your orientation. Royston Marshall says, I'm a black male with dual U.S. UK citizenship, and I am seriously thinking of coming back to the U.S. The U.K. has gone woke and crazy. I'm glad you mentioned that, Royston Marshall. I'm a brother too, obviously. A brother. What's up, brother? But I'm just saying though. I heard a lot. I got a friend over there too. I done heard a lot of stuff about the UK, man, and that is the embodiment of their policies. Just look at the UK. Just look at Germany. I'm just going to name these woke ass places. Look what's going on over there. Look what they did in California. California used to be a beautiful state. It still is. But look at what they've been doing with their far whacked out leftist policies. I mean, you could look at the damage and the destruction that people like Gavin Knucklehead Newscomb, and he was the governor. They even had Harris. Wasn't she a senator over there? Look at what they did. Nothing but destruction, chaos, sanctuary cities. Oh, everybody, multicultural, diversity, DEI, everybody's happy. We don't like guns. We don't like freedom of speech. We only accept people in happy spaces. Rainbows and unicorns, everybody. Doesn't work that way. BB the Man 44 says we aren't stuck in the identity politics. We're not. You're right about that. BB the Man 44, I like the name. Roy, get out while you still can. I know that's right. Get out of there, man, and come back to the good old US of A. John Paddock says, I gotta go. Peace all. That was a great conversation. I'll be watching for your live stream. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing for some of you guys that haven't, and for the likes as well. I appreciate you. Vance F says, for the American flag, the peace tree. There we go. That's what's up. Royston Marshall says someone was given a 3-year prison sentence for a post they made on Facebook. Yeah, they've been attacking them. They've been attacking the people's right for speech. But let's just keep it real. What I don't like about the UK is that they don't have a constitution for the people by the people. They have it for the government. The government is the one that give them their so-called rights and privileges over there. This should be a God-given right about freedom of speech. But this is where the thing about it is, so yeah, you're Roy, you got to get on out of there, man. Come back to the United States, man. Ain't no place greater. This is the greatest country in the world. It's the American US of A. This is what we even allow these nitwits and these knucklehead leftists to even have a voice, be able to speak, with the low IQ for a lot of them. Nothing to see here says, I lost a lot of the IQ points hanging with, no, we lost a lot of IQ points dealing with your nonsense because you've been disingenuous from day one, man. You know what I'm saying? So like I told you before, nothing is keeping you here. I thought you said you were going to leave. You've been disingenuous, not answering the questions. You still are. You got the majority of people in this room that are conservative and things like that, and they are MAGA. And you're going to have to deal with it for a long time. MAGA is here to stay for a very long time, and it's only going to get better. So you don't even have a party really no more, man. You ain't standing on nothing. That's why I made that point up earlier. If you notice, the majority of those people that I have on that photo are people that are going to be indicted, and they are going to prison. It's just a matter of time. We're going to get Pelosi and them up out of there. They're all going to be in jail or in prison with a nice silver bracelets to match with it. If you don't like America, you can get you a plane ticket and do like those, get on Con Air with the rest of them. Your Whoopi Gold turds and all the rest of them. Get on there and get up on out if you don't like America. You know what? Nothing to see here. Why don't you go to the UK? Don't they support your viewpoints? Don't you want safe spaces and the lack of freedom of speech, everybody on the same agenda. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how about the unicorns and rainbows? Don't you want to be over there in Rainbow Bright Land over there in the UK? You don't have to be in America no more. Remember, America is a very evil place. They stand for freedom of speech and the Second Amendment of rights. I don't like that. I want to go in a safe space. I can't even take a male conservative, a male liberal serious. I really can't. Really some soy boys, man. Beta male simps, simping for these women. Women like strong men, not weak men. You either gonna be a man and be a leader, or keep on taking it on your knees and things. If you are a man, a woman, not even the point. It makes more sense for a woman to be a liberal than a man. I said this before. It's no point in this. This is just ridiculous. So the people, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be that we're looking that's going to be indicted eventually. Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Fonnie Willis, Letitia James, Alvin Briggs, right? Judge Marchand, Alejandro Mayorkas, Bill Gates. We're going down the list, ladies and gentlemen. We may as well go ahead on and deal with this stuff because there's going to be a lot of people wearing those silver bracelets. Obamas, don't leave them out. Michael and Michelle Obama. Michael and Barack Obama and the rest of them, right? We know what they've been up to and what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So when all these people are brought to justice, man, America going to be so great. The deep state being toppled as well. That's who's been funding this this whacked out leftist idiots, low IQ idiots that won't answer a question, morons. This is the problem. They are insane, man. Royston Marshall said that's 1.6 million. It's insane here. I believe it. Man, you got to get out of the UK. I can't live in the UK, man. I can't live over there, man, without what's going on now. And what's going to happen is that when we already took back America already. You already know this. We have destroyed their movements and their agendas. They have nothing to stand on. Even the media is getting cleaned up now. The so-called legacy media, which is still on the decline, the View is going to be canceled. I see that in their future very, very soon now. Rachel Maddow and all of them are going to be gone. Already pay cuts are going on. We got to get these people on out of here, though. That's why Joe Scarborough and the other chick that went over there to Mar-a-Lago, they had to kiss that ring. And eventually the rest of them going to kiss that ring, too. Kiss that Trump's ring, Get down on their knees. They have to call Donald Trump the real Don. They got to get down there and kiss that ring, baby. The Don. I like it, right? You have to call Donald the Don, I'm going to play some of that old, you know what I'm saying, Godfather music. That'd be a nice beat, wouldn't it? Yeah, Royston Marshall said it's 4 years and 8 months before the next UK election year. Y'all got a long way to go. That's so far away. I know, right? I am very, very terrified. If this is going on over in the UK already, can you imagine another 4 years of this stuff? You guys are seeing liberalism does not work. They may not even have a country no more. Overran by terrorists. Everybody is welcome in. You can't say this and that. They don't have any weapons over there. No guns. Oh, man, that's terrible, man. That's too much power to the totalitarian government. It's too much, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, man, this is terrible, man. Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's so far away, brother. Royston, man, that's so far away, man. You got to come out of there and come back to the good old U.S. of A., man, where the Constitution. This is why we love the veterans over here and so forth. Liberals hate veterans, too, by the way. They don't like veterans. They are hypocrites as well, too. Liberals are hypocrites because if they truly believe that these illegals should be over here, they should be putting them up in their houses and taking care of them. They are the hypocrites they are. The same one that says Black Lives Matter, hypocrites, right? We still have a city of violence in these blue states. You don't see the Black Lives Matter today. Where are they today? They are a group of hypocrites. That's why it was easy to chase nothing to see here out of this goddamn room. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have nothing to stand on. You think that equality and all this other shit is like, I mean, you know, multicultural equality, diversity, equity, inclusion. You think that that is the crux of the problem here in America? Let's just keep it real. It's an offshoot, nothing more than rebrand, rehash, or affirmative action. It pissed a lot of people off. You got to make it on your own effing merit. And this is what blacks have to understand for the majority of us because of the democratic policies that have destroyed our community and gave us this like crutch type of thing. They still running around here now. The problem is that the liberal, the government gave out too many set aside handouts, programs, and this guy here, nothing to see here, was holding up welfare. Can you believe this? Welfare was the problem in regards to the so-called black community. That's what destroyed it. The nucleus of the family unit was destroyed because of that reason. That's why I didn't want to go into this with him, because it was pointless. They asked you a series of questions to try to get you in an aha moment. And as soon as you ask them questions about their policies, about what they stand on, it's either crickets or deflection. And I have known this with every effing liberal that I have ever run across. It's absolutely the truth. Marco says the real problem is the fact that there is no fathers in the home anymore, and they took God out of the home as well. You are 100% correct. They will not talk about this, but you are 100% spot on. That's what Morrow said. Yeah, V8. Yep. So Royston Marshall says my wife hates the thought of people owning guns, but we have had I know, right? 70 stabbings in a day. I was about to go there because I'm aware of what's going on over there. 70 stabbings a day in the UK with 4 to 5 deaths a week. This was a great country 20 years ago, I agree. Mass immigration went insane, just like they try to do here in America. But we got it worse. You got stabbings, because we know gun policy, they don't have a gun policy anymore in the UK. They have one, but it's called taking the guns away from the citizens, because that's what would have happened here. But we have the Second Amendment, but you also have people that are illegal in other places that got firearms. We already know gun violence here is out of control as well, too. Pixel Mayhem said, I missed the government mandate that took God out of the home. Yeah, I missed the government mandate that took God out. Yeah, they did that, separating what is it? They separated church from state. I think that's what it was. Well, wait a moment. When did they took God out of the equation? And I didn't grow up in the school. Did I? I don't remember prayer in school. No, not church and state. No, that's not the. No, it was. When did they took God out of it? Was that around in the 60s or it was somewhere around that time when did they started allowing the churches and so forth to go 501c3? It's somewhere around that time period, I do believe. I'm not 100% for sure that they took God out of the schools, for sure. And when they did that, because there was a time we used to have a thing called Christmas, and I remember that in the 70s. But now it's Xmas and all this other nonsense. Jesus is never brought up in the schools at all. Boy, you get in trouble just for mentioning the word Jesus. Huh. Morrow says, oh, brother, don't get me started on immigration. Canada is the most ruined. It's the most ruined. It almost a Muslim Indian country. You know what, Morrow? I used to live in Canada, and I dated many Canadian women for the obvious reasons. But that's another lifetime there. You are 100% correct, sir. Because now Canada, man, I got friends that come over and visit me over from like Windsor and stuff like that. And it's not a place that I would ever feel comfortable living in Canada. No way. I would not, sir. No way. No way. Not in Canada. No. Mm-mm. And the tax, woo! I don't know. Okay, Pixel Mayhem said, I don't know about you, but my high school had a Bible class and we researched the history of several religions, graduated in 2016. Yeah, I know. I mean, I remember that. They used to talk about Islam and other things, Christianity a lot. I remember that when I was a kid, when I was going to school. I don't know about a Bible though. Unless if depending on what school you went to. Now, if you went to a private school, that's obvious. Most of them are Catholic, some Christian. I went to a Christian college where they actually had a chapel. You can go in there and pray. You can bring your Bible there. You would be singled out. Oh, would you bring that Bible here for? Oh, when you say the word Jesus. It wasn't that type of atmosphere at all. But we have gone away from a lot of that type of stuff, you would agree. And this is where the problem is. The problem with the liberals that I don't like is that they removed or they tried to take away religion, especially Christianity, and they pushed other religions over Christianity. And this was the major problem, the major fault that I have with the liberals. I have several. That's one of them, one of the major. Because once again, they're not this group that they claim to be, where it comes down for less tolerance, being acceptance, being of love, being multicultural. Is once again, with the liberals, it's all about you got to agree with what they want you to say. Because we could have, if I was swinging for the other side, which is the liberal left, the numbers will be a lot higher. People are in love hearing a fallacy lie and they're comfortable with that. If I said right now that I am for acceptance of all multi this and that and everything else, you know what I'm saying? Which that's what the Constitution is about. It is acceptance of multicultural. It's just the problem is we have to put stipulations on stuff. We're not for same-sex marriages, and we come from the good old when men were men and women were women and loving it, you know? Yeah, Morrow says they banned an abortion movie show and educated young women about the horrors of abortion. Uh, you know, and again, because we're talking about taking a life here. Now, I'm not extreme on that, but we know that that happens. I know that because, again, our history stated you didn't see no abortion clinics back in the turn of the century. Even though Margaret Zinger was there and Bill Gates Sr. was there, but they had a plan to implement the Planned Parenthood. That was her baby. She was celebrated by Hitler. They were on the far left. These people have a history on the Democratic Party. They are very ignorant about the Republican Party that was started back in what, 1857, I think, for the Republican Party. It was started, not, it was 18, I think it was 1857. I could be wrong, but it's somewhere in that time period. This is where the Reconstruction period were as well. The blacks that started the Republican Party originally was started by the black ex-slaves. In the Reconstruction period, that's where the birth was. And the reason that the Republican Party was started originally because they were trying to stop the spread of slavery that was starting to spread out west. Nebraska was one of them, and it was another state too. But it was starting to take root in the West. But there was a party to stop that, which they did. This is why Democrat blacks are very ignorant to the fact of they're waking up now though, but majority of them, especially black women, 92% still vote Democrat. They vote against their best interests. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to that, because they don't know the history. Martin Luther King was a Republican. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Thank you, by the way, 7 Up the Ghost. Yeah, so this is the thing about it, though. We have to look at these facts because these are the facts. They will not look into this stuff. And I think the reason why is because it would actually deflate and destroy their argument. But I mean, if they really are being really real and want to know, be the seeker of truth, not the seeker of a lie. Mario says, "I'm black Canadian, so our culture is a bit different. We come from the church, and most of us are either West Indian, African descent, have strict parents." I'm in agreement with you, Mauro. I used to live in Canada. I ran across a lot of African, West Indian. We got a lot of them in New York. I was born in New York. On my daddy's side, I am what you call Geechee, Gullah Geechee. Our ancestors come from, they were able to trace it a long time ago. Um, we have land over there in South Carolina, all this other stuff. We can trace it back to Angola and Sierra Leone. So, and things like that. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. So, we have something in common, sir, in regards to that type of stuff. So, the Gullah Geechee and things. So, yeah, we have a history of being in this country and things like that. But yeah, Mara, exactly, man. I mean, that's the thing about it. I love Canada still. I go over there and visit and things like that. But yeah, that's the thing about it. We all have that conservative, strict parents. I grew up with strict parents. I got the belt or the switch. Belt in the summertime, we used to get the switch. I remember those days, you know. But we still had more of values. We went to church on Sundays. I went to Sunday school and all the other 9 yards. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Morrow. I mean, the brothers know what I'm talking about. The sisters too. They know what we're talking about here on that. When it comes down to black culture and all that type of stuff, you know, I love the food. We got some great food too. Gullah Geechee got some great food. If you know about anything about Louisiana food, we got that what's called crab rice. We got some things we got some good food over in the Gullah Geechee though. Some good food things. You got some famous Gullah Geechee people. Michael Jordan is Geechee. Even Michelle Obama is Geechee. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Chris Rock is Geechee. Kwame Brown is Geechee. These are some of the most famous of the Geechee people. You know. Yep. You can read about them. You can pull them up. But yeah, out of that Carolina area, those that are on the West Coast, I mean on the East Coast, know what I'm talking about. Morrow says, brother, one benefit of being from Toronto is that we have so many cultures down here, so many food options. That's a great thing about it. Conservatives like diversity as well too. You know, we do, and we love it with the food. I love West Indian food, Jamaican food. Yeah, blacks exactly. I eating a lot of Jamaican food and West Indian food, Trinidadian. My friend is from he's actually from Grenada, you know. But yeah. Ellie Aubrey said liberals aren't pushing Christianity away. They just trying to make room for a lot of other religions so that our constitutional rights, freedom of religion, that also means freedom for religion. Freedom is from religion. Okay, so here's the thing about it. I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, you have to understand if you want to look at liberals, just look at the UK. Look, what you're talking about is 20 years ago, just like Roy said. Look at the no, Ellie. No. You're entitled to disagree, but I disagree with you because we have examples of countries. Look at America. Look where it was going under the banner of liberalism. Just like now I got to get fixated on you a little bit now because I want you to accept the fact of where this country was going for the past 16 years. And Ellie, we got to go in and talk about it. We're going to talk about it, Ellie, right? And this is exactly what has happened. Look at the UK was a precursor of what happened in America. Royston Marshall says 20 years ago the UK could see a doctor on the same day. Now you have to wait 2 or 3 weeks just to get an appointment. It comes right down to the real here, unfortunately. It really does. Canada, I'm assuming, is kind of similar depending on what it is that you're looking for. If it's a major surgery, you may have to wait a year or so out. Not saying look at all the look at all the illegal terrorists that UK harvests over there. That's what America is on its way to. These sanctuary cities. Ellie, you have to hold that up. You have to accept and take on the responsibility because when you voted liberal and you voted for Harris, I'm assuming you live in America. Now, you could be in another country, but are you an American, first of all? This is the first question I have for you. Do you live in America? Because I wanted to ask, Ellie, do you live in America? You have to owe up to this stuff. They messed up. And it started with Obama. It started really going off the hinges with Obama. It was really with the Clintons, too. Let's keep it real. Clinton set it up for Obama to do what he did. Let's go on and keep it real. And the Bushes wasn't no better. I never been a Bush man ever. They were the Uniparty. The Rhino Republicans, we ran them out, remember? This is the MAGA. This is time for MAGA right now. This is MAGA. Marco says, one issue I have with women voting, I know, right? And trust me, we put women before us, as Christ says, to we love women, but you guys can easily get your emotion strings pulled and look majority of women vote liberal. Exactly. To be really honest with you, I'm going to take it a step further, and this is my opinion. This is my opinion. Women should not be allowed to vote at all. Women should not be allowed to be in leadership, to really be honest with you. This is just my opinion. And because of what you said, Mauro, we have these, because of this reason, because they are emotional. And when it come down to it, they're going to choose their emotions every time as opposed to what is right. It's very rare you're going to find a woman in leadership. And I'm not saying there are some exceptions to the rule. And I support the exception to the rule. But for the majority of them, no. Just like they shouldn't be allowed to vote. Because even in the so-called black community, Royston, you already know this. And Mauro, you should know this as well, too. Look at the black community in America. 92% are black women that vote liberal. They always voted Democrat. The only reason that a majority of them voted for Harris as well because they wanted to see a black. So they thought it was a black woman, but they wanted a so-called black woman to be president of the United States. That's all it was about. It wasn't about nothing else. 7 Up, the Ghost said, Bible versus Ecclesiastics, chapter 10, verses 1. The heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of the fool is to the left. Exactly. That's well said though. 7 Up, the Ghost. Ecclesiastics, the Bible verse, That's what I meant to say. The Bible verse. VS for Bible verse. Yeah. Aubrey says, the Bible also says not to wear mixed fabrics and tattoos. Bad. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. Now, she says here, people shouldn't wear jewelry Did you have a point? Well, no, I'm just saying though. I'm not trying to put you in that particular group, but I'm saying, I mean, you sound like a liberal that accepts the Bible. But my thing is, let me ask you this question, Ellie. Why do you accept, tell me, why do you accept liberalism? And why aren't you a conservative? Because if you believe in the Bible, scripture and all this other stuff, why do you accept liberal over conservative? That's my question for you. Why do you accept the left as opposed to the right? You believe in the Bible, right? Mario says, yes, because those commandments have been done with the only command we must follow are the moral ones and the Ten Commandments, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. That's why, Ellie. Ellie says, LOL. Ellie, do you believe in the scripture at all? Do you believe in the Bible? Are you Christian or Catholic? What are you? Morrow says that's biblical. Ellie says yes. What are you saying is your pick and choose what you want to obey, and the other ones, I got it. I got a question for you though, Ellie. Are you conservative or are you liberal? It sounds like you're liberal, right? Do you believe in the Bible or no? Are you a Christian or not? Mario says, so laugh at the Bible, not me. Yeah, it sounds like she's liberal though, because I notice like a lot of them they don't like biblical scriptures because if you know, I know with the LGBTQ, they hate religion. They hate to be reminded. They put words in Jesus's mouth. You gonna sit up here and say that Jesus loved everybody? He loved the gays and people that want to put on clothes. And Bible scripture said how men should be dressing up like women. I do remember that. The Bible is nothing more instructions of how men are supposed to be. You know, to strive for becoming righteous. That's all it is. But you want to laugh at that and go against that? To me, it don't sound like you are definitely not a Christian. And you're welcome to not be a Christian, but these are common sense Bible principles that Mauro is bringing up and talking about. And Mauro says, how about you refute my statements on with scripture? Mauro says, Ellie doesn't realize, but her foundation is biblical. That's what I'm saying. The foundations that we're talking about, because you pouring up a statement about tattoos, earrings, and so forth like that, that's what made me say that you are about the Bible and religion. But you trying to play a split though. Let's go. I mean, I'm trying to see. Let's get with it now. Let's get on with it. Mauro says, believe that yourself. Ellie says, your religion actually preaches against women. No wonder you're lonely. Now hold on for a minute, Ellie. Hold on before a minute. Before you break out that statement now, hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Let's just walk. I like walking people down on this stuff. So Ellie, so your fault, it sounds to me that your fault with religion is that you don't like the fact that God chose the man to be the one that women are to be the authority over. And I kind of find this is feminist, I kind of picking up some feminist type stuff, which is rightfully so. But let's go, I'm going to walk her down. Hold on, man. We're going to walk her down on this. So, Ellie, your problem with the Bible is that you find it to be misogynistic. How you don't like that God has chosen the man to lead, to be the one, the head. Because if that's the case, we can go into Timothy chapter 2. I think, what's it, verse 11. I got the scripture. You know, we can go into that too. Is that where your problem is, Ellie? Do you hate religion or Christianity because you don't like the fact God even said it? He said what it says in the scripture, how women are to be silent, right? It was never for them being in leadership. That wasn't your role. That's not your role, though, Ellie. You have to accept it for what it really is. I'm beginning to start to think now why Ellie may have a disdain on Christianity. Royston Marshall says society works best under Christianity. Leadership, I agree. Freedom of speech, the rights for all in other countries, they do not have what we have take for granted. Morrow said, you're right about that one there, Roy, exactly. Morrow says, treat your woman as Christ treated the church. He did say this. Christ died for the church. Morrow also said, God says leaving your wife and kids is the worst thing leaving faith. Absolutely. Well, we got a thing called no fault divorce that did a lot of that as well, too. They had a history of that. Exactly. Morrow says, I think she has a problem with men authority. Oh, absolutely. I picked up feminism. I spotted that right away. Exactly. I believe that the feminist is a tool of Satan. It was created by him himself, and he used a woman. This goes back. They are the daughters of Eve. I said this before. The daughters of Jezebel as well. They will not yield. They will not accept being under a man. They look at being a man as being a tyrant, being a ruler of. They do not like that control. The Satan has allowed women to be free to do whatever she wants to do, and when she does this, she's inviting chaos in her life. You see it every day with single women, especially, or women that want to be in control. They do not like to be under authority of no one, especially a man, right? So this is where this stuff is coming from. Royston Marshall says, Ellie, in Islam, men are allowed to beat their wives. Men can have 4 wives, and women must practice their faith segregated from men with their body fully covered. And you want to live in that society? Because yeah, in Islam, they are allowed, like you said, they are allowed to beat their women. I don't see nobody protesting over there in the Middle East. They are allowed to take on more of one wife. I believe it has to be in a time of war. There are certain circumstances where they are allowed to do that, and things like that because of shortage of men. And if you have the financial aptitude or financial ability to be able to take care of a woman, and you are allowed by they call him Allah for the God, then they grant them that permission. So that's the thing about it. The women submit to their husbands, and this is why they don't have the problems that we have here in America. Feminism does not exist in the Middle East. Love for reign. The Bible is our foundation of living godly life, but as a humans, we all fall short to the graces of God. Absolutely, sure do. I remember that scripture. But He is the forgiving God. Yes, He is. God is a forgiving God as well too. And that's all we're asking for all of us to be forgiving. We're not trying to say that men have it right all the time, but there is an order of things. What's the divine order? God, Christ, Christ, man, man, woman, woman, child. That's the divine order of it, right? We cannot leave this. We can't ignore this. And we have women and some men too that refuse to accept the divine order. God put us as the head. Our responsibility, the women, we are responsible for women, right? Just like Jesus, Jesus is responsible. We're responsible under being under Jesus's law, permission, and God. That's what it is. It's our responsibility to follow His word. We have to follow His word. Are the feminist liberals doing that? No, they're not. They're making it up and following their own thing because Satan granted them what? He said, "You will be free. You'll have the tree of knowledge, all this other stuff." And look how they're being rewarded. They are destroying themselves. They are living in chaos, right? Look at how these women that are single are way out of control. No, you said it earlier in this chat. They do not have the father in the home. They lack a family structure. They have daddy issues, mommy issues. But in this case, it's more of daddy issues right now. This is them screaming out for help for daddy. A lot of these women have daddy issues, tattoos, piercings, back out, tension grabbing, sexual promiscuous, STDs, pregnancies out of wedlock. And you mean to tell me that that is supposed to be the right way? Feminism, hating the men, women with that movement say the problem is dealing with men, dealing with misogyny. This is what they were saying. So all these points that they tried to bring up have been defeated already. We weren't going for it. We got tired of it. And when feminism is toppled and destroyed as well, which a lot of this stuff is, Title IX has to be revamped. Because this Title IX stuff that were granted to women, we have to, hopefully with Trump is going to overlook that. I think he already is turning stuff over eventually in Title IX. That needs to be looked at and rechanged. Because nobody is oppressing women today. Women always have choice. If they want more money, they can go out here like everybody else and apply themselves. You do not need DEI. You do not need any of these other set-aside programs to sit up here to say that women have been denied in the workforce and all that. You even have the 19th Amendment. The 19th Amendment was about women voting, women's suffrage, right? You have laws that are put in place. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Love for a raid, proceeds. Okay, is that Proverbs? Yeah, Proverbs. Chapter 12, verse 4 says, "A great wife is the crown of her husband. She is someone to be proud of and to be cherished and treasured." So let's read this again now for people that's coming in the room. What Love for Ray says, Proverbs 12, verse 4 says, "A great wife is a crown of her husband," right? Yep. And she is someone to be proud and to be cherished and to be cherished and treasured. What about it? It also said in the scripture, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. Right? Right? Finds a good thing. Are we finding wives today? I don't think so. We got a lot of gold digging out here. We have a lot of the opposite of that. But yeah, the scriptures are the scriptures. I can't argue against the scriptures. It's just that we need to be on point and acknowledge some things, right? Because this is where it is. This ain't about hating women. They want to say male misogyny. We need that. This is what we are about. We have full of raging testosterones, millions of sperm cells that have to be released. This is about the embodiment of making what a man is, part of it, biologically, you know what I'm saying? Those raging testosterones, we are very physical as men, right? But can we survive without a woman? Yeah, we can. But a lot of us, if we want to have a legacy, we prefer to be married, to have children. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Mario says, "All right, brother, take care. I subscribe. I'll try to catch you next time. You're okay. You're on peace and love to all." Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Mario. Mauro, yeah, I appreciate you, brother. It was nice talking with you as well. Fist pump to you, brother. Handshake. You know how we do. Yes, sir. I appreciate you subbing as well for me. Yeah, so when you come back on next time or whatever like that, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead on and do this. So um, you've been talking real good. Few of you guys are. And I made you a mod. Congratulations to you, sir. I got to get the other brother that was, I mean, the other person that was on here too. Yeah, I got to go and scroll back up. But there you go. I appreciate you and things. So now that you're a mod, everybody can, speak and say what they're going to say before you go. As long as they're not in here talking crazy or whatever, then you have my permission to go and get them out the room. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So other than that, I'm about to go ready to get on out of here as well, man. I gotta make this money. I've been up. I gotta stretch my little legs. I'm just kidding, but I gotta stretch though before I get on out here and make it happen. I thank you guys for watching, checking out the channel. Yeah, we did talk about the people that should be incarcerated and all this other stuff, and the list is growing longer. I'm gonna say a few more things before I go. Let me go down the list real quick for those that have missed it. Right, I'm gonna go down the list. Okay, you said, okay, love for rain. Subscribe also. I have notifications on love for you, brother. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Love for rain. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man, for subbing and everything and liking. Thank you so much. Glad I found you. I'm here in the West Palm Beach, Florida. Oh, yeah, that's what's up right there, man. I said one of these days I'm going to drive to Florida. I haven't been since I was a child. I don't remember it very much. My dad, before he passed away, he lived in New York, South Carolina boy. He used to always drive to Florida, though. Who does it from New York and South Carolina? That's one of their retirement spots, down there, Um, I hear people that retire in Boca and other places. I'm going to definitely check it out. Had a friend of mine that lived in Clearwater, Tampa Bay area as well. There's some nice places. I want to check it out though. I love the food, the diversity there. I'm gonna check it out. But thank you so much for subbing as well. I appreciate you. I'm gonna run this down real quick. So we got Anthony Fauci. We also have Merrick Garland, Alejandro Mayorkas, Judge Marshawn, Alvin Briggs, Letitia James, Fonnie Willis, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Kamala Harris, Hillary Crooked Clinton, Obama's, Mitch McConnell, Adam Shifty Schiff, Chuck Schumer. Yep. Going down the list here, down the list. So Chuck Schumer, ladies and gentlemen, right? Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, George Soros, Gavin Knucklehead Newsom, Elizabeth Warren, Gretchen Whitmer, Sarah Murkowski, Bill Gates, Joy Reid, Mike Pence, Nikki Haley. Don't leave out John McCain, low down John McCain. We also going to be talking about Liz Cheney's, Dick Cheney, Halliburton, right? I think we got the list there. The list is steady growing. These people that I have named before I go, do you want to see them? Do you see them be incarcerated? And I do. I sure do. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for listening to another wonderful live Some Random Guy Speaks or Some Random Guy. I am your host, Tony G. And I'll be doing another one, though, and things. But, yeah, we talked about a lot of things. I want to give a shout-out before I go. Love for Rain. We have Mauro V8. Yep, we have him. We also have, let me see here, who else? We have Royston Marshall. I got to hook him up, too, Royston. I'm going to hook you up as well, Royston. We have, let me see here, who else? Yeah, we have, I appreciate you, Ellie, for coming on the live stream as well. Thank you so much. You're entitled to have your opinion. It's welcome here. Let me see here. 7 Up the Ghost. I welcome you as well, sir. 7 Up the Ghost. All right. I appreciate you for subbing as well for me. Thank you for so much. Yeah, Royston, once again, shout out to you. Let me see here. Who else here? Even Eminem, even though we have a difference of opinion, you're still welcome to come here, sir or ma'am. Pixel Mayhem, you're welcome as well. Shout out to you as well. Let me see here. Nothing to see here. Even though we have a difference of opinion, shout out to you. Shout out to Vance. Shout out to John Paddock. Yep, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for being on. We also have Prajit. Yep, I welcome you as well too, Prajit. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. John Paddock, thank you so much once again. I think we have, what else is a shout out? I think the guy SD, even though we disagree on some stuff, shout out to you as well, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Before I go and end the live, yeah, Prajit. Thank you so much, Prajit. I appreciate you so much, sir. Thank you, Prajit. You've been wonderful there. Let me see. I think I got everybody here. You all had something to add in. You all made some very interesting comments and stuff like that. We also got along in the room. And this is what you seeing in this room. This is how democracy is supposed to work. It's about sharing ideas, opinions, and things like that. We all ain't got to agree on everything, but I shouldn't be so bothered where I get offended, where I want to start going on an attack. It's not how democracy works. So we have to be the representation or example of how the Constitution and how a civilized government is supposed to behave. Pimp the One Blind says MAGA. That's what's up. For, again, make America great again, right? I think we have everybody. I think I mentioned everybody. You guys have been great, man. I appreciate you always. I love giving. Oh, yeah, the American. Can't forget about him either. The American. Thank you so much, the American, for joining the room earlier. A lot of you guys are going to work. I get it because I got to do the same thing. Agatha Kirk, I appreciate you as well for bringing your points to view as well, though. Everybody, your quantum reality. I'm loving your quantum reality. You know, I'm gonna have to go ahead on and there we go. Made you there as well. I like what you were saying, sir. You make a yep, exactly. So you guys keep rocking with me. I'm gonna rock with you as well. This is a place of what the liberals used to always say. This is a space for tolerance, a place of love, being able to express oneself. We ain't got to agree on everything. I very rarely kick someone out the room. I really do. I'm not like a lot of these other channels where you can't express yourself, share your opinion. Liberals are welcome, just like MAGA people are welcome here, you know? So, therefore, we're showing how a democracy republic is supposed to work. And this is exactly what it is. I thank you guys for listening. I think I gave all the shouts out. I'll do my next one and things, but you seeing all the people on the photo there, they should be incarcerated, wearing those silver bracelets, and they will. I think we got the major, oh yeah, Bill Gates, I think I mentioned him too. So I think we got the major people that should be sitting, they-ish, or they, you know what, behind bars. So I appreciate you guys. Once again, thank you for listening to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G. Once again, let me get on out here and stretch my legs, get something to eat, because I got to get to work. Peace and chicken grease. Yeah, all right. I'm out. Thank you. And please subscribe again. And down below, you will see in the title down there on my main channel page, you will see where my other channels are. I'm on Rumble as well as on Instagram as well too. So you guys can follow me on there as well. All right. I appreciate the likes as well. Peace. I'm out. Thank you.